Welcome back to another episode of Sports Rants with Abby and Friends. I'm Abby. We got Guy. We got Gene in the building. A full house today. So first things first, how you guys doing?
Abby, you know how I'm doing. You know how I'm doing.
I figured, Guy.
Doing wonderful. We're here.
Well, all of us are in mourning. It couldn't be any worse for either of us.
Yeah.
Well, I have a question for each of you before we kind of get into things. It's more of like, it is a kind of how are you, but a different way. So, Gene.
Yes.
I want to know, how long is the kiss your ass line now?
Some people have popped off. Yeah. I don't know.
Is there anyone in line at this point?
No, they all left.
What does the sign behind you say?
It says "Love you more." I'm in a different room. I'm in my bedroom.
Oh, I was gonna say. Well, don't you wish Justin Fields loved you a little more right now?
Ooh.
I wish God loved me a little bit more, but He's killing me.
And then, Guy, I got a question for you.
All right.
Did you know you need to win? You have to win games in order to win the game. You have to win games and not lose the game. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Did you see? Did Fly Guy see that press conference?
Did you see it?
I did.
I was just curious if you got the reference because it's pretty rough.
No, I did.
Okay.
It's going viral at this point.
I just you run out of things to say with McDaniel and Tua with their.
It sounds like McDaniel ran out of things to say. Is what it really is. I mean,
well, he looks like he's either half asleep or drunk or something else when he's doing these press conferences, or he just doesn't care.
He's defeated. He's absolutely defeated.
He knows he's
absolutely
about to get boot.
He's dead man walking.
Well, and I know I teased you guys, but you already know I'm just as defeated after that disgrace of a game on Sunday. And I fully said the New York Jets would beat the Buffalo Bills. And I don't know what world of delusion I was living in at the time, but we'll obviously get into it. But Gene, I'm going to pass it to you. I think we have a little bit of a special guest today.
We do. He's a good friend of mine. We debate sports all the time. Usually he's wrong and usually I'm right, as you'll see by the end of the show. And he's got a weird connection to us in another way, not just me, but to other more people on the show. I don't want to say who, but he's got a connection to one of us besides me. And so let's just, without further ado, let's bring him in.
Yo.
What up?
This is Guy's cousin.
Yo.
I figured that much.
What up?
Infamous at this point.
We talk about you all the time, Sky.
I know, I hear it.
Well,
Welcome.
There we go.
Joining us. It's going to be a fun show. I love it.
Yes, he is a Met fan and he is a Giant fan. Two teams that I hate more than anything in the world.
I know. That's a rough little combo as well right now.
For me specifically.
Okay, so obviously we have a lot of NFL news, a lot of little things, but let's kind of start off with a surprising headline that happened, and that is Molly Qerim leaving First Take and ESPN at the end of the year. I mean, huge shocker for me. How do you guys feel about it?
Now, I thought that's originally what it was. But didn't she leave? Isn't she leaving now though? Didn't she change it up and she's leaving effective immediately?
Yeah, but I've been seeing. I mean, she's not on First Take right now, but I don't know if she's completely left the network because of the contract.
From what I understood, and maybe I misunderstood it, I thought she left effective immediately. Like originally, I remember hearing the same thing. It was, but this contract is gonna be it by the end of the year. But then today, from the comments that I heard, it sounded like she's gone effective immediately, which makes you think, did something happen?
Well, Stephen A. hinted at it for sure. I don't know if you saw his comments about like sharing her story and whatnot, and he's going to leave that to her. But he did a little bit of a sentimental thing and then went on a podcast, and it seemed like he was stirring up the drama like he always does. So
He loves some drama.
typical.
Yeah.
Guy, Sky. Any thoughts?
She's been on there for what, like 10 years? So
She had a long run.
she's a staple on that show for, you know, I guess this generation that's been watching First Take. So, you know, she'll be missed by some people, but I think like she ran her course on the show, you know, and I think that show got a little stale anyway, and they see the writing on the wall. So she backed out at a good time, I think. So she
To be fair,
other things.
To be fair, she's the only reason I watched, to be honest.
Yeah, I ain't mad at that.
She seemed like a nice lady.
Yeah.
But
I mean, the way I feel about it, I don't know what happened in there. It sounds like so dysfunctional. It's like she just, I don't know. She could have been where she just became unhappy with the job. Because if you're happy with a job and you're there for 10 years, the first thing you are is comfortable. You know, you don't want to get into a new routine. Like the money's there. And I seen other clips about her speaking about like how Stephen A. Smith money, and there might be a little bit of jealousy about the contract that he got because they paid him lovely. You know, he is the star. He is the star of the show, but you know, she probably feel like she deserves more. And you know what? If they had money to pay him, they should have made her happy too. You know, that's the way I feel. If you have an employee for that long, you got to dedicate yourself to make sure that you keep them. You know, that's how I feel about it.
My question is, I don't want to get in anybody's pockets, right? And we won't spend a lot of time on it, but like, so I'm not trying to say what she should have gotten, what she shouldn't have gotten, what's fair, what's not. It's not. That's that's somebody else's business, somebody else's job to do, right? But if he's getting $40 million, and you're on the show and a big part of the show, just like him, is $10 million too much, or is it not enough? Like, I don't know. Like what could have been the number that they were offering her that she was just like, not for me, where it's just too low. Like,
I don't know what they're giving.
Is he 4 times more important than Molly Qerim? Because they could replace Molly Qerim tomorrow with somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, she wasn't the first one that was there. And she, obviously, we all knew she wouldn't be the last one that was there. But Stephen A. Smith has been there from day one. So I don't know, but I don't know if that's worth 4 times the amount. I don't know. She might have looked at like, you could pay him all that money and you're still only paying me this. And whatever this is, you know, it's up to her to determine her own self-worth, right? Like, it's not, you know, for me, it's not my money at ESPN. It's not my bank account, Molly Qerim. So I don't know what the number was, but I could see there being a point where if she wasn't paid a certain amount, it's not jealousy of Stephen A. Smith, but more of like, but what's fair is fair. I've been here too for 10 years. Like, where, you know, so if it was that, I don't blame her necessarily. You know, get what you can. If you can go get more doing something else, go get it, you know?
Right. She's definitely done her time. And obviously, even Stephen A. Smith said she was very valuable to the show as well. So I hope she finally saw her value. But I feel like she's going to be around. I don't know what
she's gonna have
chapter is, but this chapter is ending. But I fully expect to see her in some other role. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not the only show in town. So, like, she's already built enough of a resume where, you know, another show might hire her, you know, with Fox Sports in the game and other media outlets. Like, yeah.
You know what I want to see? I want to see a radio show or / podcast, but on TV. Somebody make this happen. I need a Joy Taylor, Molly Qerim podcast.
Whoa.
That's what I need. I need
probably would break the internet.
I know Whitlock would probably be really upset about it. Jason Whitlock will go nuts, but you know, it would be the one thing we can say about those women is they know their sports. They are highly qualified to be in sports media. I would love to get them do a show together.
Maybe.
And let women run their own show completely. Like just them two. If they have a guest, don't even have a male guest on. Only have women in sports media on. I think it would really be something that there's nothing else like that right now. I think it'd be really cool. It would be a little groundbreaking. Maybe they could hire Abby to be on there as the third amigo. We'll see. But I think it would be really good, and I think it would do well. And again, I think they are both qualified in sports media. Listen, we've had women come through, and you realize they put them up on certain pedestals because of a pretty face. They know what they're talking about. And I think in today's sports media, I think you are seeing the female represented a lot better than it was, say, 15, 20 years ago. Now we're getting sports females in media, females in sports media that are actually sports fans, and that's kind of a breath of fresh air. I mean, and if you look, every network has them. Kay Adams is another one. Like ESPN's loaded with women that I can trust what they're talking about. They weren't hired as a pretty face. They know what they're talking about, and I think they are two of the leaders of that industry. I mean, that's not for me to speak about. I think Abby would probably be a better judge of it, but that's my take. Seeing them knowing that they know what they're talking about.
I mean, I like them both. I do think Joy Taylor talks a little bit more sports than Molly. I feel like Molly was a little bit more of like a mediator sometimes, but I mean, she still knows. She has a pretty higher level of understanding than the typical average woman, though. So I will give her that. But either way, I think those two, especially with what happened to Joy Taylor, because Joy Taylor's show was canceled, if I'm correct.
Yes.
So I think right now that might be a good transition for both of them. I do love them both equally. I think they equally bring something to the table. So I mean, we'll see if a show is going to be willing to pick them up.
I hope so. I mean, listen, I don't think there's no reason why they shouldn't be employed somewhere.
Well, moving on, obviously Molly is out at First Take and ESPN. And another person who's out is good old Joe Burrow. Will be out for a couple months with the Bengals. And do any of you have him for fantasy?
Yes.
Nope.
I do.
Yeah.
I have him in our work, guy. I have him in the league I'm at work.
Oh,
that
that's
is
painful.
hilarious. I was playing him my opponent had him as their quarterback this week. I don't know if it's a he or she, but they still absolutely destroyed me because I started Breece Hall this week. So that was my first mistake there. But I mean, when Joe Burrow went out, I was like, oh, I may have a chance here. And it didn't make a difference nonetheless. So Joe Burrow will be out is it till December?
They're saying January. And at that point, if they're out of it, you probably won't see him until next September.
At that point, yeah. So what are your guys' thoughts about the Bengals moving forward?
Listen, Jake Brown had a bad game, right? Threw 3 picks. You know what I mean? Like he didn't win them that game. They're 2-0. It's gonna be the rest of the stretch is gonna be a long stretch for them, man. And that division's is a gauntlet, right? You got the Ravens twice, you got the Steelers twice. Browns are going to play him tough. They played him tough week 1 when they were healthy. You know what I mean? So it's a gauntlet. So we'll see. I don't expect them to make the playoffs. Expect them to have a losing record, and it's a real shame because you felt maybe this could be a year. Maybe they get it together. Weak offensive line though. Weak defense. I hope this isn't going to be what happened with Andrew Luck. Remember Andrew Luck with the Colts? What was the problem with the Colts during Andrew Luck's time? They never put really any money into that offensive line, and Luck just kept getting hammered, and it ended his career way too early. Are we going to see that same thing with Burrow? Because he gets hammered. Every year he gets hurt. It would be a real shame and a real waste of talent that if they don't fix that offensive line, man. They need to literally go into a draft and just offensive lineman. Because what a good offensive line can help you on defense. Because if you can run the ball now, you keep the ball away from the other team, and your defense gets some rest, and they're not as strung out on the other side of the ball. So they really got to put some money into that offensive line. Go draft an offensive line. Use your free agency dollars on some defensive guys, but that offensive line, that could be really where this whole thing is crumbling for them. There's just nothing on the inside.
Guy?
Yeah, I think it's a shame. I think he's one of the best passing talents that we have in the league. I saw a stat the other day that he actually has been sacked more than Andrew Luck had at the same point in their career. So
I didn't even know that stat, but there you go.
Yeah, and I mean, if we could take anything away from that, we never saw the Andrew Luck retirement coming. Like that just caught everybody off guard. And I hope it doesn't happen to Joe Burrow because I think he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league when he's healthy. But damn, like it's an organizational flaw where you got to protect your investments, right? You don't do anything to shore up the offensive line. Like you have a premier, he was a first overall pick for a reason. He has a great connection with Chase. Like they're dynamite on the field. I think it's organizational, man. They didn't really do the necessary things to take care of him. He's been in the league long enough. They have a great offense, when they're clicking, but when you don't build in the trenches, this is the thing that happens. Offensive line, defensive line, they're the foundations of like great football teams. They spent all this money on Chase and Higgins, and it's like entertaining football, but at the same time is dangerous and unhealthy.
Sky?
It's just unfortunate. I mean, if you're a sports fan, I'm not a Bengals fan at all. But the guy is legit. The guy can throw the ball. The guy makes his reads. He throws the passes. He does everything you want in a quarterback. But the guy keeps getting hurt. It's just ridiculous at this point. Like, I mean, he's got Higgins over there, Chase, like great receivers, and now they're just going to go to waste too. And that whenever things like that happen, it can even bring dysfunction too, because these wide receivers want the ball, and now they're going to have some scrub throwing them the ball, and just everything's going to be all messed up, and you're going to see it's just going to crumble. That's how I feel about it.
Gene, you're on mute.
Sorry about that. That's on me. Does anybody believe in Jake Browning? No, right? I mean, like he looked good 2 years ago. That's what I'm saying. I remember when he played a couple of years ago when Burrow got hurt. Again, he got hurt a couple of years ago. He played and he was decent, right? But we haven't seen him for like a year and a half at this point. Now that was 2 years ago. I think they need to go make a move. I think they need to wait to see what the Giants want to do with their quarterback situation. And if they believe in Jackson Dart at some point before the deadline, go try and trade for Russell Wilson. Bring Russell Wilson to Cincinnati.
Especially if they're still in it, you know what I mean? And that Bengals-Vikings game is going to be very interesting because you just have two great receivers. And I was reading, the memes. It's like whoever comes out on top is, number one wide receiver. And it's a joke, obviously, you know what I mean? But those two receivers, they both expect to be fed the ball. And it's the one thing about JJ is at least I don't see his frustration. Even though McCarthy was like struggling a little bit, he was still like hyping him up to a certain extent. And speaking of McCarthy, what are your guys' thoughts? McCarthy's hurt. We have tons of injuries, I feel like, already at this point. Justin Fields, McCarthy. Obviously, we'll get into Justin Fields later, but what do you think is the status now of, the Vikings at this point?
Oof, it's bad. It's that's a tough division. You don't want to be in a hole early on because the Packers look legit and the Lions do too. So, there's only so many spots that you can get in the wild card in the NFC, and the NFC got some pretty good teams. So, they're gonna have to win early. They already got some equity, but with their 2 wins, but man, Carson Wentz. They might have to, like, if McCarthy's injury was more serious, they might have had to be in the quarterback market as well, because that team did win 14 games last year. Like they were really good. That it's just very hard because, and that's why I was saying last week is that so many different variables happen where injuries happen, and then your trajectory in the season just takes a turn. and it's about surviving and just winning and next man up. But and that's what I'm looking for. If these guys are gonna make a run and win, you might have to go a couple games with your backup.
Any given Sunday. That's how it always goes. So we're gonna get into some more NFL talk here soon, but we got some other non-NFL stuff that happened this weekend. Obviously, a huge fight with Canelo and Crawford. I know, Guy, you probably have a bunch of thoughts. I want to go ahead and hear your thoughts first.
Yeah, I mean, two of the best boxers in this generation had a mega fight in Las Vegas on Saturday night. Well, really Sunday morning by the time it started. But we had Terrence Bud Crawford winning on a unanimous decision against Canelo Alvarez. I mean, it went the way I thought it would. For years, I held on to the belief that Crawford is the best boxer in the world. He showcased his talents with game plan, supreme defense. The sweet science of boxing was in full display, and that's not taking anything away from Canelo, who's amazing in his own right. But it takes a boxer like that to beat a Canelo Alvarez, where it's, Crawford's hard to hit. And in the game of boxing, it's hit and not get hit. And I don't think anybody does it better than, Terrence Bud Crawford. And unanimous decision. The scorecards were a little bit closer than I thought it should have been, but I thought he, won convincingly. And I know probably for money reasons in business, they might want to do a rematch, but I don't think the rematch is gonna change the outcome. So, it helped the sport though, because now Crawford is in a different stratosphere where he's going to make a lot more money. Canelo doesn't lose value in losing to like the best guy in the era, because he's still great and the cash cow of the sport. So, I think this is actually a good thing for boxing, and I think it's back on the rise a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Sky, Gene, did you guys watch the fight? Any stake in the matter?
I watched the fight. It was great. I mean, I had no idea that Crawford was going to dominate in the way he did. Like when he fought Errol Spence Jr., I thought that was going to be a good fight, and then when he beat the hell out of him, I was like, "Oh my god!" Like I couldn't believe it. So and then I was still in denial. And when he faced Canelo Alvarez, I'm a big Canelo fan, and I was rooting for Canelo, and I literally thought, I'm like, "There's no way that this Crawford could take a punch to the head from Canelo Alvarez." And you know what? I don't even think he landed not one clean shot to his head. And it was just crazy. The way he played defense, the way every time Canelo tried to come in, he would just meet him right back with a jab, or just the game plan was impeccable. And I was surprised and wild. I couldn't believe it, how good he was.
Gene?
First, can I just address my man Nigel? Thank you. First off,
I was gonna say,
I love you tuning in. Yeah, I'm in a different location. I only have like one light lamp behind me. I got no lights in front of me. I look like it's like a hostage video where I'm about to read a note. Say goodbye to my loved ones. Please send the money.
But wait, is that Nigel's picture right there? It does not even look like Nigel though. Maybe it's because Nigel's always wearing a hat, but I'm like, who is that? Yeah,
that's probably what it is. I'll tell you what. We got to see Nigel. He's in the, as everyone knows, he's an actor. He's in Ghosts on CBS. Extremely funny, but he's also in a bunch of commercials. And he did a Southwest commercial, and Caleb saw his commercial pop up on and actually recorded it on TV and recorded it and sent it into our group text for the pop off. And we all had a little fun. So Nigel is for Nigel, everybody's fly Southwest. Johnny Boy says blink twice. Listen, love having you part of the fan, Nige. The best host the Pop Off has ever had, man. So thank you for tuning in, man. So that's why it's so dark. I'm not my normal setup. everybody's in the other room because I got family coming into town, and it's like so everything's a little chaotic. But yeah, so I'll let everybody know if I need help.
I mean, he ain't wrong.
So my man, you're a handsome looking man, but we're just saying that you look different without a hat. That's all.
Yeah, I'm just used to like a Raptors hat, or there's always some like it was like, guy, you had no hat on at the beginning, and I was like, who are you?
I can't even picture him without sunglasses now.
So
that is very true as well.
And for everybody, let's continue the Nigel shout out. Go check out Ghost on CBS. Nigel is one of the I won't tell you which ghost he is, but he's a ghost on Ghosts. Very, very funny sitcom. So go make sure you guys check it out.
Well, any thoughts on the fight, Gene?
Yeah, I thought Crawford would win. I just thought that I was hoping it would be a closer fight. I didn't think it would be as one-sided as it was. Having said that, I'm ready for some new blood in boxing, man. I feel like since we have such a huge pouring of UFC content every week, it feels like fighters don't even go to box. They don't gravitate to boxing anymore. Now they gravitate towards UFC and mixed martial arts. And I really wish we could just have boxing how it was like in the 80s and earlier. You know, I was young when it was really at it, you know, when it was big. Hey, there's my man. There's Marcus, right? There's Buff from Prop Stars. He's in the house. Let's say what's up to Buff. Hey, Buff. Thank you for tuning in. And yeah, Buff also works with me and Sky too. So that's, you know, that's if anyone knows Buff from Prop Stars, he also works with me and Sky. But yeah, I'm ready for some new blood in the boxing game, man. I really am. Like, I love Canelo, I love Crawford, but you know what? When are we gonna get like one of these fresh like 19-year-olds like Mike Tyson back in the 80s, man? I need some young blood in boxing. Everybody's going towards UFC. I need some young blood in boxing. I want boxing to come back. The last that I remember being really, really good, where you had a bunch of good boxers, a quantity of quality. I was young, so I would watch it, but I still didn't get I didn't get to enjoy it as much because I watched it as a kid, not as a grown up, where I got to understand it more as a sport, you know. So I really wish we can get like that next batch of fighters going to, you know, gravitate more towards boxing than UFC. Though I don't think it's gonna happen. I just don't see why it would. I feel like everybody now, you know, UFC is where the money's at. It seems like, right? Unless you want to fight one of these Paul idiots, and then there's that. So we'll see, man. I just wish that was like my thing is I feel like all the fights we get now are just like old guys. You know, I'm ready for like new young talent. You know, and until that happens, it's kind of a bummer.
Now, didn't Mayweather and someone else like line up a fight next year? Am I seeing that wrong?
I mean, Mayweather's like what, 75 years old?
yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You're
great
right.
Shape.
Well,
I mean, listen, guy's in great shape, and that's what I'm saying. I need fresh faces, man. I need fresh blood.
I mean, there's some.
Hey, I'm not mad about the UFC either. I love
love
Diego
it.
Lopez. Diego Lopez won this week, so I was like happy at least my favorite fighter won. I was obviously going for Canelo, because again, in my head, okay, so like the Mexican Independence Day was yesterday, and so I kind of wanted that on his behalf. That's why I wanted Canelo to win. And plus, my dad was at the fight, and he likes Canelo, so I was like, I want to win for my dad. But honestly, watching the whole fight, it was just getting away too quickly. And Guy, you pointed it out. The scorecard made it look a hell of a lot closer than it actually was. Canelo looked gassed half the time. And I'm surprised it even went the distance at some points. But I saw he took one headshot, and it looked like at the end he was kind of like, whoa, okay, I need to get back in the game here. Really like a wake-up call there. But the one thing I also want to say about the fight too is there was one hiccup on Netflix in the beginning where the audio went out, but otherwise, no issues. Like in my head, some of these streaming platforms have issues, and I'm surprised Netflix didn't, because I feel like there was some with football last year. And so in my head, I'm like, you have a year to plan in advance this big event. And I thought it went down flawlessly. So shout out to Netflix. I do of course, I hate having all these games on different streaming platforms. You got to have like 5 subscriptions to watch everything. But I thought Netflix executed it really flawlessly. So that's something I wanted to point out there.
I agree.
So,
I think a lot of other this might, the younger generation might have not noticed, but Crawford walked out to the Desperado song. That's why he had like the guitar case. Like, he came out to like, a Mexican song, and that people were like, why is he coming out to this? He cerebrally, he was already winning the mind games with the ring walk, the music, and everything. Like, he was prepared for this for like years, and it showed in the ring. But to echo your point, though, Netflix did a great job. The people that they had working the fight were great, and to echo some of the people that were mentioning some names of young blood in the sport of boxing, Xander Zayas definitely is up and coming. Shakur Stevenson. We still have Usyk, who's the best heavyweight of this generation. There's some guys coming up, man. It's just that you got to be marketable. And one thing I do like, I like Turkey and Al Sheikh, whatever his name is, that puts all this together. He's aligning himself with Dana White, and I think they're gonna make a concerted effort to actually push this the way it's supposed to be, and have guys not duck each other like the last maybe 20 years, and have the best fight the best, and don't worry about catching an L. Even the best fighters lost at some point. It doesn't diminish your skill. In life, we lose sometimes. When we get back up, you could get the championship belt again. That's what makes boxing great, is that redemption story. So, I think we're coming back. Boxing is coming back.
I hope so. And, I agree with Christian here too. I think if we need that young heavyweight division to really kind of spice up a little bit too. That's what we really need. We haven't had a really good young heavyweight in a long time. And can I tell you my favorite walkout song of all time? My favorite walkout song of all time? The Gypsy King, when he came out to Patsy Cline's I'm Sorry.
Yeah.
So it was so like, what? But Patsy Cline, man. I loved it.
well, moving on to, we're hoping boxing obviously like builds up, but one thing that's winding down is MLB. Well, winding down for some teams, I should say. And one team that seems to be struggling a little bit is those good old Mets, which I love. We got 2 people on, we got a couple people on here who love the Mets. And Guy, I totally forgot to tag you earlier. I had posted. You saw the memes that I was posting. I'm like, who else did I tag?
With the snake
I
going
know. I
Mr.
tagged Johnny Boy. I tagged Woody. I tagged my other co-host Michael, and I totally forgot about Guy. I was like, oh man. And I'm sorry. The memes today were hilarious. And hey, I saw the D-backs chances for playoffs went up to 21%, so there's still a chance. But
you thought they were dead.
Exactly. I was checked out.
They traded everybody on their team.
That's what they do. That's what this team does. And I'm not saying they deserve to be in the playoffs because, again, there's no pitching. They've had problems. But at this point, with the meltdown the Mets have had, they don't deserve to be in the playoffs either. So
look, Johnny Boy with the AbbVie disrespect.
Does Arizona have a team? You're gonna find out. You've 1.5 games back, but I mean the Diamondbacks face Dodgers next week, so
tough sledding.
Yeah, but let's talk about the Mets for a second. How you guys feeling about them?
To be honest, it's been a long ride. This season's been long. So many ups and downs. In the beginning of the season, we had the number one pitching, the number one ERA with all our pitchers combined, and then all of a sudden now total opposite. Our major issue is the starting pitchers, and it's just ridiculous. Our starting pitchers can't even pitch 4 innings, and they're just getting rocked the whole time, looking like scrubs. And guys that we gave money to, Manea, Kodai Senga, same, both of them, it's just ridiculous. And then there's days where we're hitting looking like a championship World Series contender, just beating the hell out of teams, and then all of a sudden lose to a scrub. So I don't know what's going on in there. I mean, after this 8-game losing streak, I was like, you know what? They don't even deserve it. And then all of a sudden, we play the Padres yesterday and beat the hell out of them. So now it looks like we have a chance. I mean, we have a chance, but it's going to boil down to the end because Arizona's right behind us. The Giants are right there. The Reds are right there. So any mistakes right now can make it to where you're having a vacation early. Ain't no October. It's no October baseball for you.
If that happens, right? Because the offense also took a little bit of a dive when they had, what was it, 8 games that they lost in a row? Let me tell you one thing. No team that ever makes the playoffs, or no team that loses 8 games in a row anytime after September 1st does not deserve to make the playoffs. Let me just say that right there. Even if you're up by 10 games and you lose 8 games in a row, they should automatically cut you from the playoffs. You should not be. You're no longer in. But it sounds like maybe there's some Soto buyer's remorse that the offense isn't working when you paid this guy a gajillion dollars, gave him a private jet, gave him a suite. You basically let him do everything. He might even let the owner. What's the owner's name again? What Cohen? He might even let him sleep with his wife. Who knows what they gave this guy?
Whoa!
I mean, we see players get special under the table contracts like Kawhi Leonard. We don't know what Soto got. Soto might have got some other things we don't know about. Do we have a little buyer's remorse?
No. Why would there be buyer's remorse? He has a 40-30 season. He's got number 1 in on base percentage. You know, like he's still producing at an elite level. It's just to play, you know, to get that responsibility as the highest paid player, you know, like it does weigh on you mentally if you don't start off hot. So he was in his head for most of the beginning of the season, but I knew at the end of the year, like his stats are going to be fine. It's just that you have to get everybody on the same page. You know, rosters are what they are, but we've seen teams like the Anaheim Angels of 2002 not really have a superstar and win the World Series. You know, like it's more about chemistry and playing the game the right way and getting hot at the right time, more so than who's in your lineup and who's on your pitching staff. Like that helps, but that's not the like end all be all. But I don't have buyer's remorse, and I think we're gonna be fine. You know, like this is just how the Mets are. They don't do things the easy way. It's always difficult, and it's gonna come down to the last day. We play the Marlins at the end of the year, and that's a tough series. So if we could get some equity before that, I think we'll be fine.
Was it Let's finish the season against the Marlins and you gave away the division? Was that 07?
I think it is. That's the Tom Glavine game where he
you guys were up big and then you went into Miami and you got crushed by Miami. Those things happen.
It does, but we're gonna be fine. We're not worried about the Diamondbacks or the Giants or the Reds.
A winning record is probably really, really exciting for a Met fan. Just to win and have a winning record, just be over 500. So you'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Yeah. What about all the playoffs that you guys make and nothing?
Well, we went to the World Series last year.
Yeah, the AL was in a down year. You saw what happened when you played a real team.
I mean, we can say what we want, but we also don't know what might have happened behind the scenes. I don't know if umpires were on the take. I don't really know what happened to money off the field. There was a lot of things that happened. I don't want to talk about last year anymore.
Okay, but every time the Yankees lose, it's some conspiracy or the other team cheated or the league is biased.
100%. Yes.
Okay.
100%.
Okay.
We saw the umpire a couple weeks ago that had like 11 bad calls on the Yankees, and then the next day he comes out wearing all Red Sox gear. I don't know. That wasn't AI. That was a real photo. I'm just saying, if the Yankees lose, it's never on the up and up.
Oh wow.
You know what I'm confused about? Johnny Boy wanted to mute me, but didn't want to mute Gene. That's the funny part here. The salty Yankee fan, he wants to hear you, but he doesn't want to hear me.
Right now, you guys are an actual conflict. Right
yeah,
now.
well, Johnny Boy must be very nervous. Guy said he's not nervous at all. You're not worried about the Diamondbacks. Okay.
Hey, wait, fans, do you hear that hiss behind your shoulder? That's the Diamondbacks coming for your ass.
We're still lingering. We're still lingering.
Who would
All
have
right,
thought
well,
you trade those guys away and you're still right there, man? God bless.
And that's what's insane. I did not expect to be in this position. I mean, it came down last year to the same thing, you know what I mean? But we were in a totally different spot, and here we are. But I hate how they do this, though. They give you a little bit of hope, and I'm just going to watch it crumble probably next week. But I'm still going to enjoy the ride. I'm used to the roller coaster with the Jets, so I'll be on the roller coaster with the Diamondbacks as well.
Well, let's be honest, though.
Real quick, I just want to shout out TJ, also from Prop Stars, also a co-worker with me and Sky. He's in the house. I just want to say what's up. They got a show tomorrow at 10 a.m. They're going to be going over like all their week 3 picks. So if you want to get some good picks, some good prop bets going for this weekend, go watch them tomorrow at 10 o'clock. They're going to have all that stuff for you guys. Go ahead. My bad.
No, it's all good. I was going to say, look, all this went. If the Mets took care of business and actually even played 500, we wouldn't even be having this discussion. So our struggles allowed these teams to have hope or life. But we're gonna figure it out, and we're gonna get that last spot. I ain't worried about it. I'll say it again.
You know what? Like a good big brother, I hope my little brother makes something nice happen this season. I want to see you guys do well this year. As a good break, all good big brothers should be like this, and I am a good big brother. So, little Rose, I hope you guys get everything you dream of this next week or two.
You know what? I will say, I loved you. Was it yesterday? Lindor's wife.
Yes.
What beautiful and what a sight to see. I love little stories like that.
Family.
So I love Lindor too. I follow
do.
him on
I actually
Instagram.
like
I
him
love
lots.
certain players. It's hard to, you can't dislike the guy. You know what I mean? He's one of
He
those
has
guys.
fun playing ball. You could see
Mhm.
he's genuinely having fun playing ball. He plays hard all the time. I wish he's a Met that I could say I wish was a Yankee, especially with our shortstop situation now. Of course, I want him. I love that short, but we got.
Well, let's stay on the MLB topic for a little, and let's talk about AL MVP. And I'm sure Gene has a fantastic answer for who is most deserving of this precious award. So, Gene, I'm going to start with you.
Yeah.
There's obviously two names, but I want to hear your thoughts first.
Well, yeah, I can't see how it's not going to be Aaron Judge, right? King Aaron Judge, as they call him. On
Oh, are we shocked? We're shocked.
No, you guys could say Cal Raleigh all you want. He hit 56 home runs or whatever it is, right? What has he got? He's gonna break. He's gonna break records probably. He's got the. I think he's got. Does he already have the Mariner record? I think he already has the Mariner record now. It's great, but what is he batting like? I'll even look it up because I don't want to sully his name. So I'm gonna look up what he's hitting right now because I don't know if we're the Mariners. All right, he's got to be playing tonight, I'm sure, right? Box score. Let's see. He's batting 247. He's batting 247. He's like 80 points less than Aaron Judge. His on base is only 360. His slugging is only 588.
Only 588?
I only say only because if you go to the Yankees, who are up 8-5 right now in the ninth, for anyone that's worried about what the Yankees are doing.
And for anyone who's worried about the Mets, they're losing 7-4. So
Typical Met
just thought I'd
fashion,
throw
but
that out
okay.
there.
So then you got Judge who's batting 328, 453 on base, 678 slugging. I mean, that's your MVP right there. And let's call it what it is. The guy still has a ton of home runs. He went with like 46, 47. The guy's probably going to end up with 50 home runs himself. And I don't want to hear, oh, well, he's a catcher. You know, the catchers don't hit that much. That's not an excuse. This Judge is the MVP. I just gave you he's tremendous in the outfield. He plays a hell of an outfield. He beats him in every statistical category other than home runs. He's got him in every other statistical category other than home runs. In a tougher division.
Really?
I mean, it's definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, it's Aaron Judge. Oh wait, I got you muted. My bad. Let me mute you, Sky. Go ahead.
Riley has 118 RBIs versus Judge's 103. The guy's doing damn good. He's got 56 home runs to Judge's 48. Like, we got to give this
48.
guy
So we have more home runs than
like Judge is doing great. Judge is amazing. Not taking anything away from the guy.
Sounds
The
like
guy's the guy's amazing, but this Kyle Riley guy's I'm rooting for him. He's got more home runs. I mean, he's got a .951 OPS, and this guy Judge has 1.127. So he's definitely getting better there. But he's right there. Like the guy's, and he beat what was the stat I seen where he beat Mickey Mantle's home run record for being a switch hitter. The guy's hitting from both sides of the plate. Like the guy's a beast.
But that's a bonus. But
it's harder to do.
It's not harder to do. If you're a switch hitter, you're a switch hitter. It's harder to do if you're not actually a switch hitter and you try to bat lefty when you're a righty. He can bat both from day one.
You got to master both, though. So you got to perfect both sides of the plate. And
how many home runs? What's his splits? Do you know his splits? How many home runs on the right as opposed to the left?
I don't know.
I bet we could find it. Because this... and this is just keep talking amongst yourselves. I'm just curious. While I'm looking it up, you guys keep going.
Well, I'm gonna echo Sky's point and make the case for Kyle Riley. I think you said that being a catcher diminishes his accomplishments.
No, that's not what I was saying. I was saying I get it. People want to give him like this added bonus because he's a catcher. But at the end of the day, we all have to play defense. But we all play, it's not even, the only one I would take it away from is maybe DH.
Well, that's the thing. Kyle Riley gives you Gold Glove defense at catcher. Like he's not a liability out there. Like he's not just a bat that's playing catcher. He's managing that great pitching staff that they have in Seattle. And until he bursts on the scene, Seattle hasn't really made the playoffs. Now they are in pretty good position to finally break through and make the playoffs. And look. He broke the record for catchers hitting home runs. Like to get power and defense from the catcher position, I think supersedes, anything that Judge does because of the mental and physical grind it is to play the catching position. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Judge could play every day and he could chill out in right field, you know what I mean? And play in a bandbox, Yankee Stadium. What is it? T-Mobile Park, I guess they call it in Seattle, where the Mariners play. It's a big park. It's not really it's more of a pitcher's friendly park. So you don't get cheated when you hit a home run out there.
And to be fair, he's actually home and away. He's actually pretty steady. Home, he's had 26 home runs. Away, he's got 30. So that's pretty close.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Like his power doesn't. Dip when he's in different parks. He showed out in the home run derby, and I think he really cemented himself as one of the stars in this league. And breaking the catcher's home run record, Mickey Mantle's switch hitting home run record,
and he's tied with Ken Griffey Jr. too
for the Mariners record. Yeah,
that actually is tied.
And bro, if he gets to 60. As a catcher, like, are you seriously still gonna say Judge?
Yeah.
He's like the only one.
Wait, all right. So wait, we all have a vote. Let's say we all have a vote right now. See, right here, you can't win. I agree. You can't.
But he's a catcher.
If you bat on, it's a catcher, so the home runs don't matter. But the average,
no, but.
If home runs matter, then average matters. If you can't be batting 240 and then only 360 on base, and real quick, I'll give you his splits with left and right. So righty, he's hit 21 home runs, and as a lefty, he's hit 35. Let's see. I don't care for Judge, but in all fairness, he missed like a month, but I agree for See, I really like where Christian was going, and then he totally did like a U-turn on me.
I mean,
I'm not even gonna address that comment. How about that?
I mean, how about we look at the last 7 games? Because in the last 7 games, he has 9 hits, 3 home runs, 5 RBIs, and he has a 3.75 batting average. Riley, that's good. Judges has 9 hits, 4 home runs, 5 RBIs, and a .450. So they're both getting hot at the right time. So let's see. Right now, let's the hell with that. Let's look at the last 7 games. They're both on a tear right now, so it's gonna get down to the end with it, I think. But right now, I think this guy Riley got it.
I also want to bring this out too. Scoring position with 2 outs. This is the clutch gene, right? This is the clutch factor. He's only got 7 home runs. He's batting .224 with a .415 on base. On base is actually better, but he's only batting .224 with scoring position 2 outs. Now let's go real quick. Let's go back to Judge and see what Judge's splits are on that, because I feel like that's a stat that's important.
I mean, what Judge is doing is really good, but I think what this guy's doing is more impressive.
Yeah, it's actually historic.
All right, I don't want to even. Yeah, you know what?
Why? Because that didn't prove
never
your
mind,
point.
right?
No, it's not that. My internet's not working. I can't get it.
Right.
It's the internet. Because I forgot
All
you're in
right,
like a dark web room and being held hostage and all of that, right?
All right, Judge. All right, so all right, I'll be fair and I'll say it. Judge with scoring position 2 out, 2 home runs, and he's batting .220.
There we go. That's
Thanks,
important,
Aaron.
though. Thank you for sharing.
I still give my vote to Judge. Man, I really thought I had. When I saw he only had 7 home runs, he's batting .224. I'm like, oh, we got this one in the bag. Judge's got to have probably. Well, that didn't work out as I hoped.
A lot of garbage time home runs, huh?
Yeah, and neither did Justin Fields, comeback player of the year, right?
Woo!
Yeah, comeback player of the year.
Wait, first off,
concussion protocol now. Now it's time.
Abs. First off, it's only been 2 weeks, and one of those weeks he looked.
No, I want to know where the kiss my ass line begins. And you know what? After my little week 1 video, you said this is the apology button. Well, here's a little heart that you can like. And where's my apology, huh?
Woo!
Sorry. Sorry.
Well, let's move on to NFL since we're already transitioning here. Me and Gene are going to go last because this is going to be fun. So I'm glad we got a Giants person in the house. Great game. That was entertaining game, Mike. I mean, I was already checked out of mine the second drive into the game, into the first quarter. So, I mean, that Giants-Dallas game, you couldn't have asked for anything else. So, Sky, how you feeling about the Giants?
I don't know. I'm still. We're supposed to have this great defense with all this Burns, the Abdul Carter we just picked up. I mean, all these good players that we have, and I'm just ready to see it. I'm ready to see it, and it was a great game. That Dallas game was a real good game, and just Russell Wilson was looking like I don't know where I think that was the most yards he ever had in his career. I think that's what I read. I'm not sure, but I know it's at least in his top 3. And that guy and Neighbors is the truth. That dude is thick. He was burning that their main guy on Dallas. I forget his name.
Was Bland?
No,
Bland,
not him.
Bland was out, right? Diggs?
No, the other one. Yeah, him, Diggs. He was burning them. He was just burning them, and it was like it was a good game. But unfortunately, we lost. So all that good stuff doesn't matter because we lost. And now we're 0-2, and now we get to go up against Kansas City, and let's see what we could do with them. I'm not like so hype about us, but let's see what happens.
So I have 2 Giants fans at work, and I was talking with them today, and I felt like that was a crucial win for the Giants this week. And I was talking with them earlier. Where do you see the Giants finally win a game? Because their schedule right now it's not going to ease up at all. So, Sky, at what point do you think they maybe get a win?
Honestly, I'm hoping we could just get a win this week right here against Kansas City. Maybe there is something going on with Kansas City, You know, I know they got wide receiver issues. Worthy got hurt in the week one, collided right into Kelsey. You know, that's a bummer. The other guy suspended. You know, it just looks dysfunctional right now, and hopefully we can bank off of that. You know, because if they play the way they normally play Kansas City, then we're gonna lose. But I'm hoping that this defense steps up and gives Patrick Mahomes a real big problem, and we can come up with the win.
I'll tell you something right now, and this pains me because I'm a U of A fan, but Scattaboo looked really good for the Giants this week. So obviously he went to ASU, but I thought he was impressive, and even on the sideline, his energy too, which I've seen him in college do that same thing. But I'm glad to see it's like carrying over because he was hyped. So there is something to at least look forward to in Scattaboo in your draft pick. I think they drafted him. Is it the 4th round that they drafted him in?
I believe so. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like him. The guy he runs hard runner, like he wants contact. He's trying to run people over. He don't care if he gets hit, and he jumps right back up. He's got great energy, and that's what we need, you know. And he's like slowly taking it away from the rookie running back we had last year, Tyrone Tracy, his name is, and he's looked like he's going to take his job from him. So I hope so. He's looking pretty good.
I agree. Gene, Guy, any thoughts on the Giants?
I think they're gonna be all right. You know, they're competing. That's what you want. You know, and we all know that Dart's gonna take over at some point this year, and I think that's the main goal, or one of them for this season, to see what you got. But yeah, I mean, to me, they could have had that game this Sunday, but you know, they couldn't make the key plays in the necessary, and the key drive, like when Russell threw that pick, that kind of killed it after he was amazing in that fourth quarter. It's just it happens, and it's a rivalry game. But hey, I think they're trending in the right direction, and you might be catching Kansas City at a good time though. Like they're a little bit in disarray. This could be a trap game for Kansas City. Why not?
Agreed.
Real quick, I just want to go back because I thought it was funny myself. Saw Spangled Awesome put in Murray in the Vic. Did anybody see this?
I obviously saw it. Yeah.
Tone deaf is all hell. The guy gets so real quick for anyone who doesn't know. Hey, Shaq's now. Thank you for stopping in, Shaq. He's one of our loyal guys. So for anyone who hasn't seen it, Kyler Murray adopts a pit bull, and he takes a photo with said pit bull in front of him. Did anybody else see this? Did you guys see this? With the Vatek Michael Vick jersey. Was it? Do you think he did it to get a reaction?
Probably.
Like, and there's nothing about. Listen, from everything that we've read and seen and heard, Michael Vick, I feel has truly is truly sorry about that past. It seems like he's really matured since then. Head coach at a college right now, is doing really well, and he's always, I feel like, since especially up in recent times, has always said the right things, done the right things. So I do believe he's paid his dues for what he did. As a huge animal lover, there's nothing much worse than what he did to me. But I felt like, all right, well, he did pay his dues. I feel like he's very contrite. Is contrite good or is contrite bad? I feel like he means it when he says he's sorry. I don't know if I used the word right, but I believe him when he says he's sorry. But you can't wear the Michael Vick jersey with your pit bull puppy in a photo shoot thing. I'm sorry. You want to really wear a jersey, bro? Wear your own. You're a professional football player.
And this dog is beautiful. He's got
like
beautiful dogs.
Oh, gorgeous. I thought I was watching like an SNL skit. Hey, take flight, Brent. A huge effect on young mobile quarterbacks. Listen, he's one of the reasons the game has changed the way it has, right? I'm just saying, if you're going to take a photo with your dog, not really the right jersey to wear for that photo. I just thought I was like I feel like he was doing it to be funny. I don't know. It's not really a funny issue, so just thought it was weird. But
I mean, I don't know why he did that, but in my head, I'm like, you need to be worried about the product that you are putting out on the field because you head to the San Francisco 49ers this weekend. And I was at the Cardinals game watching the Panthers come back and potentially have a chance at the end. Yep. I was like, there is no way. And after how they already played week 1 against the Saints, who's probably going to, probably going to be towards the bottom of the all NFL teams this year. I'm like, dude, it's not funny. He apologized. I believe he took it down off of his page as well. But
yeah,
just
sure
absolutely phoned it. Yeah.
And Christian makes a great point. He might not have really known. I don't know how you could have missed it, right? You have handlers everywhere. Nobody would have said, "Hey guys, hey Kyler." Not the best look.
Yeah, non-sports fans knew about that. That was like national news.
And he was a kid, so I get it, but I just find it hard to believe that there's none of his handlers could be like, "Yo, bro," you know what I mean? Like, and you know what, TJ, you're right. I remember the year. I forget which year it was, but the year that he was on the cover, Michael Vick was a terror in Madden, bro. I wouldn't even throw the ball. I would just drop back and scramble and go like 90 yards with a touchdown every game with every possession with Michael Vick that year.
Yeah, 04.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
well, let's move. Yeah. Well, let's move on to another 0-2 team, and let's talk about the Miami. Did Miami win? No, they lost. Because did you know that in order to win the game, you have to win the game and not lose the game? Did you know that? Just making sure.
Yep. That's usually how it is.
It was like almost like a high as a kite version of who is it that said you play to win the game? Hello.
Mm-hmm.
It was like it sounded like the stoned version of that quote.
Herm Edwards.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite jet coaches of all time. I love Herm Edwards.
Well, Guy, I see you have no Miami gear on today. So and you're wearing black. He's wearing black, which is pretty much but you're wearing black, which is pretty much how the Miami Dolphins are looking right now. Very bleak in a hole. And they got a tough Buffalo team coming up tomorrow. So, Guy, I'm just teasing you, but let's hear your thoughts on the Miami Dolphins this weekend.
Oh, wait, Buffalo's tough now all of a sudden.
Hey, I'm going to walk it back. Just wait. I always check myself. You know me.
No, I mean,
keep receipts, and receipts are kept on me.
That's how it is, right? But yeah, no, we have a tough matchup. Buffalo, we struggle against Buffalo, especially in the Tua era. I'm not having any type of expectations for this game. The only thing that could work in our favor is that the line is pretty large for this game. In the last 5 instances where it's been this high, the favorite hasn't covered, whether it was a close win or they lost outright. So I'm not saying that we're going to win. I think it might be closer than what people think. And that's why I said, week to week, we looked a lot better than we did week 1, but that's not saying much. But at the end of the day, we were in position to win that game. Tua turned the ball over at an inopportune time, like he always does. And I think he needs to start transitioning to his next, job. Maybe be part of the, bloodline in WWE or something. They got to bring him in because it's not working, behind center.
No,
the lack of leadership from the coach and the quarterback. The lack of confidence, it's manifesting in the way that they play, especially in the key moments. And I'm not surprised that this is happening. Like I said, if we totally bomb this year, it's fine because that means new coach, new quarterback, and I'm ready for that.
Well, what are some observations you had from the game against the Patriots this weekend?
I mean, I thought the offense ran a little bit better. The offensive line is terrible, and you're gonna have a talk with your boy.
I knew you were probably going to mention that as soon as you mentioned offensive line.
Oh yeah, he was rated the worst offensive lineman in the NFL. And
Who was?
Sabanea,
her boy from
the O-line from U of A that they drafted.
No.
I mean, I give him grace because he is a rookie at the end of the day, but with all the troubles that Tua has had and that offensive line being a weakness for so long, like we needed that pick to hit like immediately. I'm pretty sure he's going to have a good career, but that team, it's a tough situation to be in because it's hard to get yourself ready to play when your coach is talking the way he does or looking like a bootleg Mark Anthony that looks lost out there. And his press conferences are just like what are you doing, man? Why are these things coming out your mouth, right? But the positives I saw the Dolphins defense actually keep them in the game a little bit, even with their secondary decimated. They kept it close. I mean, for them to have a chance to win, they're going to have to outscore the other team, and it's going to be in the high 30s, or they might have to crack 40 to win a game. But those close, low-scoring games is not going to happen. Our defense isn't equipped for that.
Well, Gene, I saw a big sigh from Gene right now.
I'll say one positive thing about the Dolphins. They played a team that we all thought was better than we seen in week 1, the Patriots. We thought the Patriots were better than that, and I think we all expected them to play better than that, and they did when in Miami. So the Patriots, I think, going into that game, I think we all thought was a better team anyway. So maybe it's not such a bad loss.
I only thought that I'm not on the Patriots bandwagon.
I'm not either, although I think they're a better team than
you guys both are. You had them going like 10, 11 wins. I did not say that, so I want to stand corrected.
No.
I told you they would lose against the Raiders, and you were like, "There's no way in hell they lose against the Raiders." I thought they were the favorites going against Miami, seeing how Miami played week 1, not because I think the Patriots are good.
All right, so I thought they would lose. I thought they would win week 1, but I didn't have them winning 10 or 11 games. I'm winning 9 games. So I mean that's a big difference. But having said that, so I think they the Dolphins played a better team than the Patriots. But I also don't think that Indianapolis game is as bad of a loss as it seemed that week, because then they went and they beat Denver. You know what I mean? Which we a top defense in the league. So I don't know if it's as good a loss or it's as bad a loss as we originally thought that Indy loss. It was on the road. Indy might be better than we thought, so it might not be that bad. Oh, thank you, man. Thank you.
I love that. Thanks, TJ.
TJ, we also think the same thing about Prop Stars. I love Prop Stars. Now on twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Also, I didn't get to shout this out, but Tua has So TJ is 3-1. He does a lot of on our shorts. You'll see it on all our platforms. He does prop bets and under overs, and he gives a little betting tip usually once or twice a week. So far he's 3-1. He's actually 3 in a row. The only game he lost was that first week where Miami didn't score any points and he just missed the over on it. So Miami screwed. Not only is Miami screwing a guy over here, they screwed TJ week 1. But yeah, so it always, I'm telling you right now, look for his reels, his shorts, or whatever you platform on TikTok, our TikTok, our IG, our YouTube. Make sure you check it out. Our Twitter or /X is he's got a pretty good streak going right now, and this is one of the ones he's got right here. Tua over 1.5 touchdowns for Thursday. I'm sure you'll hear him with more stuff tomorrow going into the weekend. So make sure you guys check him out. And thanks again, TJ.
Our fave guy, Shaq here. You also got to remember how much Tua has owned the Patriots and Jets in his career heading into Sunday. On top of that, Vrabel has owned Tua the last couple of times, so something had to give.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? My memory is just completely blacked out with the New York Jets at this point, so I have amnesia at this point.
I think I'm a Bucs fan now, anyway. So.
Well,
even this week?
let's transition.
I don't know.
You might wear the new. You might wear. I'm interested to see what jersey you're gonna wear this week. What jersey?
Me at the Jet game?
Yeah.
I'm wearing my Joe Namath jersey at the Jet game. After that, for the rest of the
We're
Bucs
cursed
games,
for the game.
He's gonna do the switch.
But for every other rest of the Bucs games, I'll be wearing a white number 13 Mike Evans jersey, the regular white jersey, not the creamsicle, not the throwback. So yeah, Scott. In fact, Skylar will be coming to one of the games with me and certified Rob from Rookies of the Year. We're going to the Thursday night game, right?
Yeah, the Atlanta game.
Yeah, he's going to the Falcons game. But yeah,
Agreed.
I'll be rooting for the Bucs every other home game except for this first one. But I'll be honest, there's part of me that feels like the heel turn is coming, and I just might be. I was talking to my son earlier today because he's coming down. He's actually coming down so we can come to the game. And I said, hey, Adrian, if you move down here, you already have a season ticket. You know, one of those tickets are going to be yours if you move down here for good. So what if we just switch? Like, we could just be Bucs fans and just go forward and just, hey, we're Bucs fans now.
Well, Dean, you gotta be careful of that because I got called a fake fan this weekend because I went to the Cardinals game and wore a Cardinals jersey. Mind you, not even in the same conference, not even in the same division. Cardinals have never won a championship. I live in Arizona, born and raised. I've said they were my backup team, but no, I'm a fake New York Jets fan from my understanding this weekend. So you better be careful with that little Bucs jersey that you got, Gene. I'm sure those comments are probably going to be coming your way as well. It was ridiculous.
And you know what I would say? Thank you for listening. Keep on sending us more engagement. Thank you very much.
Literally.
And then it's like, hey, thanks for watching and thanks for listening and putting some money in our pockets.
See, and those who watch like this show or any other content I put out knows all of this. So you're speaking with like no context off of just the one video. And I was like, oh, I wore I think he was a Pro Bowler for the Cardinals. I can't even tell you who it was. It was my stepdad's jersey, and my stepdad's a Broncos fan with the Cardinals jersey. So I just thought that was hysterical. But Gene, speaking of the New York Jets, let's get into the other 0-2 team this week. I mean, Gene, how are you feeling?
Well, I had us at 1-1 at this point. I had us beating the Steelers and losing to the what you call it?
Bills.
I couldn't even say it. But I also had us losing to the Bucs. I have us actually going and losing in Tampa. We actually talked about this a little bit last week. Did I have them going 1-2 or 0-3 now? Because I had them being 1-2 after week 3, but now I have them starting off 0-3 because I don't think they're going to beat Tampa Bay in Tampa. Tampa's just straight firepower. Ibuka is that guy. I think he's going to be one of those next in line of these guys that are like one of these like top 5 guys. I think he's fantastic. He's got a little bit of everything to him. I love, there's a question to be, I know I'm getting up a little bit off topic, but another great question is, can we actually say if Baker Mayfield is he treading into the elite territory? He might be. He might be, right? I mean, if you look at his numbers over the past few years, they're not far off from a lot of the other, who we kind of deem as elite, right? Like, figure elite is what, top 5? He's not really far outside those numbers. If you look at some of the stats, like he kind of beats every single one of them in a different category here and there. His record is just a little not as good as some of theirs. Like that's where the only one that he lacks in is he doesn't have as many wins as them, but he's got more touchdowns than most of them. He's got less picks than some of them. He's got a better passer rating than some of them. So he's right in the mix. And I think it's definitely a thing that we could really look into later. Let's get a little bit further into the season, then we can kind of dissect it a little bit. I would love to be able to do that. But the Bucks are really going to be good, and with the Jets are going to start Tyrod Taylor, who's been on he's been on 35 teams, and he's not even 35 teams in the league. So, I like Tyrod Taylor. He seems like a great guy. I saw that photo that's floating around him online that looks like a high school photo, this yearbook photo.
Oh yeah, that's the one I posted. That's my favorite picture of him.
It's a great photo,
Yeah.
but it doesn't mean he's gonna, it doesn't mean he's gonna win the game. So, if he was a great quarterback, he wouldn't have been the Jets' backup. And there's a reason why he's never been a starter in this league and why he's never really gotten to that point. He's been in the league for so many years. He's
been injured.
He's been injured a lot, but he's also just never really had a chance to really to hold on to a starting job. Once he gets a starting job, he loses it relatively quick. So I don't think anything's really gonna come of this week. I think it's gonna be a bad week. I see us losing 31-13. I see the Jets losing. I don't like to say us, the Jets. I see the Jets losing 31-13. I think they're going to give up points because that's what they've done so far. I was nervous about the Steve Wilkes hire. I know he didn't work out in San Francisco when he was in San Francisco a few years ago, and it made me nervous when he came here. I know some places he's worked out well. But I have a good friend that's a big San Francisco guy, and he couldn't stand him out there, and it made me, hearing how much he complained about him when he was there, it kind of made me leery of it when he got here. So the defense has been horrible. I don't expect groups. I think our scheme is just not right. Maybe we don't have the right players for this scheme yet. But I don't expect the offense to be too good this week either. Again, we're going with Tyrod Taylor. I know Woody seems to be excited about it. Our good friend, also on the pop-off. I saw this thing he put out there. He goes, Garrett Wilson receptions up, yards up, Breece Hall up. Breece Hall might be up, but I think that's about it. The only reason why you might see Garrett up is because there may be some garbage time yards and catches. I see guys.
Well, out of all of that, I heard how terrible the defense was. I heard nothing about the Jets offense on Sunday, and I heard nothing about Justin Fields and how terrible he was. So, Gene.
All right. So Justin Fields
We're
was
all
terrible.
interested.
Justin Fields was horrible. But he also didn't really have time to throw. The line had a bad game.
He had plenty of time on a lot of them. He had plenty of time, and he held the ball too long. Don't lie to me.
They weren't getting open.
Scott even turned off his camera. That's how you know.
That's how you know.
Justin Fields played. He was non-existent at that game. But go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. So, listen, that game was over. You know when I knew it was over?
When? I was about to ask you.
I could probably assume you might see the same thing. When Michael Clemens had that dumb roughing the passer penalty, I was like, it's over. I knew at that moment, they're just going to march down the field. Like, I've never seen somebody be so aggressive when he doesn't need to be aggressive, but when he needs to be aggressive, not be aggressive than Michael Clemens. Like he's a pussycat every other time, but let the quarterback get rid of the ball. 3 steps later, he's the most aggressive guy in the league. How about getting there 3 steps earlier, guy? Listen, when we brought him in here, he looked like Tarzan, man. He was so impressive. He was mean. I would love it. Abby, you remember how mean we loved how he was so mean. He was like hard nosed.
He was like a fan favorite.
He was. And then it got to the point where he gets there 2 steps late every time and gets caught with a penalty every time. And then it just seems like he's a dirty player. I'm not saying he hit Josh Allen on purpose in his nose, but when you are a dirty player, you don't get the benefit of the doubt of those things. So did he? I'm sure he didn't do it on purpose. When everything's moving that fast, it's hard to line up your fist go right in that little piece of the helmet. But it did get in there. And listen, when Draymond Green kicks somebody in the nuts, we know it's on purpose because you have that reputation. Michael Clemens has that reputation where, yeah, it could have been an accident, probably, but we know Michael Clemens. He's a dirty player. And I'm surprised with the talk we heard from Aaron Glenn week 1, I'm surprised he's on the team today. I will say this, and I think, Sky, I think we actually spoke about this after the game. I think we actually had this conversation. Sometimes a loss like this, early in a coach's career with a team, or when they're earlier in their administration with the team, it's good to have a loss like this. Because then he could go and be like, and really dig into it. Parcells would have really dug into him. If he's the disciplinary coach that we hope he is, then I think this could be good for the team going forward. Because let's face it, after week 1, even though they didn't win the game, they played well enough on offense. So we all were like, okay, we might have something here. They look really good on offense. They fixed a couple things on defense. Wait, guys, let me finish. And I think they may have read some of their press clippings this week going into that game because they played nothing like they did week 1, and that was against a good defense, right? At least we thought it was. I don't know, Seattle scored a lot easily on them too, but I think at that point you go after Aaron Glenn, you pull these guys aside and be like, hey, so are we done now? Do we realize we have a lot of work to do? Do we realize we're not as good as we thought we were after week 1? Now let's get to working and fix these things. And now I start holding everybody accountable. Now that you got that out of the system, where you thought you guys were world beaters because you put up 30-something points against a good defense in Pittsburgh, now let's get to work and fix what we need to fix. So if he's the disciplinary coach that we think he can be, this could actually benefit them in the long run.
Guys, amazed at the positivity spin that New York Jets fans seem to have. I mean, you were talking about it last week, how we're excited for the loss.
Yeah, I knew it was fool's gold. Like, teams aren't really their true selves week 1, especially with the condensed preseason. Like, maybe Pittsburgh's defense gets into shape by week 4 or week 5, but like week 1, you got to take with a grain of salt. And that's why I'm saying, like, that game was exciting, but it didn't show me anything that, like, the Jets have arrived. They played a good game, but I knew going into the next week, Buffalo was a tough draw, and that was the real test. Like, especially after Buffalo came back against the Ravens, the way that they did, riding that high, no team was playing better football than the Buffalo Bills. So, like, you ran into a buzzsaw, and I was like, it's going to take the Jets, and this is why in the season preview for the Jets, I didn't have them doing well this year because there's going to be a lot of growing pains. Like the new coach, the quarterback, that relationship takes time to build. Like, you just can't put two guys together and say win football games. It's very hard to do that. And to change a culture, it doesn't take 2 weeks. It doesn't take even 2 months. That first season, like with Campbell in Detroit, his first season wasn't good at all, record-wise. But, I think next year the Jets take a step up if they continue in that trajectory. But I have no expectations for them this year because, like, Justin Fields hasn't shown me enough where I could put that much confidence in him like you have. Is he better than other quarterbacks that you recently have? Yeah. But like I said, the bar was so low that you're accepting mediocrity as excellence, and we don't want to confuse the two. Like the improvements are going to be incremental and gradual. By the end of the season, you guys might be playing a lot better. But, like, I saw you guys having a slow start just because of all the new pieces in the key areas as, like, head coach, quarterback. Like, that's tough. That's tough to overcome. And then the Bucks this week, whew.
I really feel like you hit me with some hard truths right now. I feel like, I feel like you sat me down and you were like, listen, buddy. And I feel like you leveled with me just now. It felt like an intervention.
Yeah, sometimes we need it, bro.
I will say this, Gene. You were really delusional with this guy, with this Fields guy, and I feel bad for you. I look at you at some of the things you're saying. I'm like, oh my God, I don't think Fields is the guy. Honestly, he couldn't get it done in Chicago. You know, he was doing pretty good for Pittsburgh, but apparently not good enough. They got rid of him, sent him over there to you. Like he hasn't proven anything, and to make matters worse, after getting beat the hell up like they did, he got hurt. He got hurt, and it's like that's the part, you know. And you know what? And I know that they should win this game, the Bucks. But don't sleep on Tyrod Taylor, bro. I think he's pretty good, but he'll only be good for like 1 or 2 games, and then that's it. You know, but I've seen him have good games, so don't be surprised if he puts up a good fight with them. You know, I just think they need to run the ball a little bit more, let Tyrod get with the little short passes, and then see if he can get something to Wilson. You know, see if he can get something to their star receiver. But I don't believe in Fields. I don't.
This looks like Gene's therapy session a little bit.
It's a Jets intervention.
Well, we got 75 in the building, by the way. That's the last number. So before I share my thoughts, want to shout you all out for joining us across whatever platform you are. We appreciate you being here.
Rants.
All right. So, I mean, my thoughts on the game. You said the game was over after the Michael Clemens. Honestly, when I saw the first 3 and out and missed the wide open Garrett Wilson, I already had a feeling.
That was wrong.
Because it's not how the first week started. I was like, something's already off. And then when he fumbled the ball, the next drive, game is over.
Yeah, you know, when he missed that pass over the middle to Garrett, I'm like, that would have been a completion last week. Like, he hit those last week.
That's why I was concerned.
Yeah.
And then when he fumbled, I was like, the game's already getting away from us very quickly. And it was just all downhill from here. And you're right, he got hurt on top of that. You know, he's out this week, which we kind of probably expected. Tyrod's in now. Now, I'll also say don't hate on Tyrod either. I think he'll win us some games. He's not going to get us to the playoffs or anything like that. But he's a veteran, very competent. And he somehow has, I've watched him practice with like Garrett Wilson and have some games with Garrett Wilson. So there's a connection there as well. So I don't think the matchup coming up against the Bucks is going to be as bad. What did you predict? 30-13? I think the Jets will score a little more. But I also see it as a loss. But
that's a good defense over there in Tampa too. So
I know, but you know, in terms of the defense, I'll tell you right now, like the Jets defense, and I mentioned it earlier, if I can read the cover, there's a problem. Because I believe true, really good NFL defenses are able to disguise it. And I can just see it right away. And so if I can see it with my basic understanding, Josh Allen, MVP back there, is going to spot it right away. He was changing the calls right at the line. Like he was able to read it. Let's change a call. And then he would rush for like 40 yards. Or then James Cook looked like Derrick Henry.
Jeez, did you see that Cook run for the touchdown?
I couldn't believe it. And, you know, and the problem with the defense is too, bad angles on tackling. And you can't tell me people like Sherwood and Sauce and Michael Carter II, who were some of the best last year, you can't tell me they regressed so much in just a matter of 2 games. And that's why I'm looking at Wilkes. Your scheme is not working with the defensive players that we have right now. Yep. And it's very 100%. Concerning. I mean, Stevens is already one issue. There's really nothing we can do there. But
I think Stevens is the bad corner in general. I don't think
exactly. But I mean, some of your best players are not performing, and I mean, maybe some of it is on them, but I also just think it's not meshing as well as we thought it probably would.
Sherwood, we developed Sherwood from we drafted him as a safety, right? We turned him into a linebacker. We developed that talent. Or, you know, maybe we need to give more credit to Saleh. Saleh developed that talent. Yeah, you're right. I don't, you know, it's not like he was good and then just all of a sudden had a contract year. He looked good in the spots that he played up going into last year, and then last year really put it all together due to some injuries, got some playing time, and really put it together. I don't think it was a contract year type of thing where he just had a good year. I think he's a good ball player. It's something's just amiss. You're right with Stephen Wilkes. Now, again, can you fire a man after 2 games, even if you kind of have an idea that he's the problem? No, you can't. Obviously, it's ridiculous. The Jets would be laughing, even if they knew without the shadow of a doubt, wow, he isn't the right guy. They'd be a laughing stock if they made a change now, right? So they kind of got to just deal with it. But yeah, I mean, and listen, Sauce wasn't good last week either, but the week before he was fantastic. He was the best corner in the league. They just got to figure it. I can't imagine it just doesn't stem from Wilkes though.
Yeah, and Engstrand, I give him a little credit as well because again the receivers were open, and I think he's still also trying to mesh in with this offense as well. He doesn't have it all figured out after 2 games, and then of course now he's going to have to make the transition because, I mean, they're not going to get too much of a dip off between Justin Fields and Tyrod Taylor, but they are still 2 different players, at the end of the day. So,
and wasn't there like a really nice catch that, correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't that like a really nice third down catch by Arian Smith that got called back
yes,
like a holding penalty or something?
And
so now you can't blame on Arian Smith. He made a nice little sideline grab. I think we need to see more of Arian Smith on offense. He looked great in the preseason. In spots he made that was a veteran catch on the sideline that unfortunately got called back. I want to see him part of the game plan more, and maybe he will be. So yeah, although I wouldn't have brought in the kick returner that they brought in from Cincinnati when they let go of Gibson. I would have brought in one of these guys that we have on the practice squad, like Skinner or on the other guy's name, but there's a couple of guys.
Pritchett.
Yeah, Pritchett. I would have brought one of those 2 guys up.
Yeah, and you know what? Speaking of Michael Clemens, from the press conference that we were talking about, I was talking about it with Woody actually, but it doesn't look like he's gonna get cut because the D line's very thin as well. So he's safe there, but we're gonna move on from the Jets.
You might see him drop it out of the rotation.
He can't play as many reps as he does. No. That's the problem, too.
I wouldn't even play him on third down at this point. I'd be too scared he's going to give up enough like what he did last time.
But JJ's out now. JJ, I don't know the status of his ankle either. And Tay Adams is hurt on defense now, too. So we'll move on from the Jets. But one last thing I want to say is, I have Josh Allen as quarterback in fantasy. And you would think with the 30-10 loss that he would have just had stats off the roof. And no, got me a whole, I think, 11 points on top of that. And I got absolutely demolished in fantasy this week. I mean, they had neighbors, so give credit there. And then it was an absolute nightmare. And that's what made me even more mad. I'm like, Josh Allen didn't do anything. He didn't even ball out. That's what made the loss even more frustrating. It was
At least you would have gotten something for it.
Thank you. But I was interested to see real quick, how did you guys do in did we talk about it? How did we do in fantasy this week?
Not really. You got a dub? I'm in 2 leagues.
Okay.
One of the leagues has it where you play 2 different people in the same week. So you have the same one roster, but you play 2 different teams. So in the league that I'm in at work, I lost that one because Joe Burrow got hurt. Thankfully, I have Jordan Love, and so I should be fine going forward. But I did lose, so I'm 0-2 in that league. I'm 0-2 because I didn't start Javonte Williams week 1, and he had a monster game, and I lost the second game because Burrow got hurt. But then in my other league, I'm 4-0 in that league because remember, like I said, you play 2 games each week, so I'm crushing there. Like Neighbors had a big game for me, so Neighbors killed it for me. So yeah, I'm good there. So a mixed bag for me.
Right. Well, let's move on really quickly. Obviously, after 2 weeks, we have several teams that are 2-0, and we have several teams that are 0-2. And so let's start with the 2-0 teams, and I'm interested to see your picks as to who's the most what team are you most surprised that is 2-0 as of right now?
I'll go first. I'm pretty surprised at the Colts. The way they just, Anthony Richardson, I guess he lost a job in preseason, or it was like right before the season started. He lost a job. They gave it to Daniel Jones. So that is already like it's dysfunction because I thought Anthony Richardson was going to be the starter. He's got a bright future. Just it's hard in the NFL to be a quarterback, and the way they play the game now, like sometimes they just throw the quarterback in there as a rookie, and that's not always going to be good. And that's what I see with him. He's just having growing pains, but I think in the future he'll be fine. And as much as everybody knows, I can't stand Daniel Jones. So like seeing him flourish over there, it really annoyed the hell out of me. This guy's got 588 yards and 0 touchdowns through 2 games, and I'm just thinking that through the little quarterback dysfunction that he was just going to be garbage like he is. But just wait, you'll see him be garbage. It wasn't a fluke. I mean, he's like one hit away, and not like I want to wish harm on no one, but I've seen him just get hit, and all of a sudden his neck is messed up, his back. So it was real surprising to me that they're 2-0.
I think I'm sure most of us have that answer. Gene, do you have a similar answer?
No, I actually don't, because I thought they were going to win. I thought they could beat Miami at home.
Right.
I'm surprised they beat Denver. So I would have had them as 1-1 at this stage in the game. The team that surprises me, and this isn't even because of the injury, it's because they're just notoriously slow starters, is the Cincinnati Bengals. I actually thought the Browns could they got to win week 1 against them because they, like again, notoriously slow starters. They barely got out of Cleveland with a win, even being healthy in week 1. So, and then the injury last weekend. Yeah,
Guy?
they're my team. That's just, I'm surprised it's Cincinnati.
I mean, I do agree that the Colts are, but I'll tell you the most fraudulent 2-0 team is the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah, that's another one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
They played 2 of the worst teams in the league. They're going to get tested this week against San Francisco. If they win, I'll give them a little bit of credit, but
remember that's also a damaged 49er team too. So even if they win, it's kind of fool's gold too.
Yeah, and I mean the thing is that the 49ers have had that matchup that they've won a lot against Arizona recently. And it's just that psychological advantage. Shanahan has this way with quarterbacks. So, he looked all right, this past week. Not saying that he's a world beater, but if he plays within his strengths, they could definitely beat the Cardinals. But I just think that 2-0, that's an inflated 2-0. They're going to come back crashing down to earth again.
And I mean, I mentioned at the beginning, I was at that game and I couldn't believe my eyes because they have a terrible record actually against the Panthers. And so I was like, there's no way this starts to happen. And then I even left a little early and finished the rest at the casino, and everyone was stressed out looking at the screen with just 3 minutes left. And you know what? I'll be honest, I'm a little surprised with the Niners. And again, I can't be too surprised because they're so well coached, but they have a lot of injuries. And I'm sorry, Mac Jones kind of surprised me in week 2 as well. So we're going to see. I mean, the Cardinals have a pretty decent defense for the most part. I know that it hasn't probably performed as well as they've wanted to the last 2 weeks, but I did want to mention that the Niners were a little surprising to me to some extent, I will say, simply because of the injuries. But again, so well coached. Saleh was fired up, Gene. I don't know if you saw some clips of him.
I didn't see it, but I'll tell you what. I have a really good friend of mine, Joey D. That's a huge Niner fan, right? And so before the game, we're talking about the game, right? And I go, hey, so it's what's called starting for you, right? I go, he goes, yeah, I'm not saying he's gonna be good. He should be pretty decent. He basically he's saying how, he's a good player with an offense that suits him perfectly. We'll be just fine. I don't expect to really have any issues. It won't be like we have Purdy back there, but we'll be fine. And then he hits me back like 5 minutes into the game. Remember what I said about Mac Jones forget it. He sucks. We aren't winning any games that he's starting. So, but then again, he ended up playing better as the game went on. So he got better, but it made me laugh so hard. And he goes, 0 completions, holding on to the ball too long, throwing into double coverage, taking sacks. He sucks. So, but again, he ended up at the end of the day, had a good game. No picks, no turnovers. Got the dub. Missing some players on offense. I don't think Trent Williams played either, right? Was Trent Williams out? So, I'd love to see there be a quarterback controversy in San Francisco. Maybe Mac Jones might take Purdy's job. We'll see. But yeah, no, it's I just thought it was funny from one 49er fan's perspective.
Yeah, no, I always appreciate that. Now, on the contrary, we got some teams that are 0-2, and let's do a round robin again, same order. Teams that you're shocked are 0-2 at this point. So, Sky, we'll start with you.
Probably gonna be the Chiefs. I didn't expect it. I mean, they got a great head coach, Andy Reid. You have a great defensive coordinator. It's just a well-run organization with one of the greatest quarterbacks. You just don't expect it. But when you start to look at, the wide receiver issue they have, the injuries, I guess it kind of makes sense. But being how dominant they've been, it's kind of hard to even see it. You're like, you don't think it's going to happen, but there they are, 0-2. And they're going to see my Giants. So let's see what happens.
I know you're praying for a Giants dub there, Gene.
I hate also to say the same team, but I can't see anybody seeing it not being the Chiefs. Besides the fact that they should have won game, week 1, they come into week 2 with all signs pointing to them needing that win, right? You got a team that they're going against, that they're home against, one of the hardest stadiums to play in the league. They're home. The Eagles got to come to their house, one of the hardest places to play. You owe them some get back from the Super Bowl. And at the end of the day, you don't want to fall 0-2 when you got the Chargers playing as well as they have. They already have a tiebreaker on top of you because they already won a game against you. We expect the Broncos to be good. We expect the Raiders to not be good, but better than last year. It's a week 2 game at home against the Eagles is a tough game, but it wouldn't have been that big a deal for the Eagles to lose that game. Like if you looked at the two teams who needed that win more, the Eagles could have took a loss there and be just fine. The Chiefs are gonna have more of an issue, so it's got to be the Chiefs, for sure. But I will say this is a lot of us had Houston winning this division in the South, and now they're 0-2, and Indy's 2-0. Is Indy fool's gold? We'll find out. But either way, 0-2 is a tough place to come from. No matter what the record looks, the schedule looks like in front of you, it's just a hole that you don't want to be in. And Houston's in that 0-2 hole as well. And where I don't find it to be as crazy to think that as the Chiefs are 0-2, it's also a team I never would have expected to be 0-2.
Great guy.
Yeah, I mean, you can make a case for either the Chiefs or the Texans. I mean, they both had difficult games. The Chiefs had to go to Brazil for that first game. Neutral site. It's always a toss up there, but yeah, playing the defending champs, that's a tough stretch, especially with their injuries. But I think they're going to be fine at the end of the day. Houston, I'm a little more worried about. That Stroud, his rookie season, he came in and just like we thought that this guy was going to be one of the next, elite quarterbacks, or at least in the top tier of quarterbacks. And I don't want to say he regressed a lot, but he hasn't been the same. And that offense isn't clicking like it was 2 years ago. Their division is for the taking, but it's wide open. That I think they could also weather an 0-2 hole too, because the Colts are going to come back down to earth, and Jacksonville's not that bad either. So they can make a push against them, but I had higher expectations like everybody else did with Houston. You know, their defense was supposed to be like great, and it is to a certain extent. But you know, they played a really good Rams team and a good Bucks team. Just came up short twice, and sometimes that's the difference between you know good and okay teams is winning those one score games, and they're 0-2 right now.
You know, I always have a rule when you say what's an acceptable loss, you know, and I always feel like if you lose a game on the road to the other conference, that's a loss you can live with. At least early in the season, right? Like, you know, at the end of the season, you might need wins, you know. But as far as losses at the beginning of the season, if you have to go against the other conference on the road, I feel like that's always an acceptable loss because it doesn't conference, it doesn't affect you in the division, and you're on the road. So like for the Eagles to have lost that Chief game, that would have been an acceptable loss. And on the other token, when it's the exact opposite. If you're the home team against another conference, you gotta win that because you gotta win your home games. And so yeah, so we'll see what happens, man. But you know, you're right. Like at least Houston's in an easier division where okay, the Colts should probably come back down to earth unless they're really better than we think they all think they are. So far they are, but will they stay that way? And you're right, Jacksonville's only going to get better as long as they stay healthy because they aren't even playing good right now. They're 1-1, so they already got to win, and they're Brian Thomas Jr. saw has his head up his ass. Like he had, what is he, like 2 catches on the season? Like I don't even know what he still hasn't even found his he hasn't even gotten started yet. So once those things happen, once he gets going, once Travis Hunter starts feeling fluid and confident in the offense and on defense, who knows what this team can really do, right? So they can only get better. But I also don't expect the Colts to stay on this thing. Tennessee's there. They're gonna have 2 games against Tennessee. Those should be wins. So yeah, but the Chiefs could be in a mess. And let me say one other thing too. Shame on the NFL. You should never have a divisional game at a neutral site.
Agreed.
There should never be a divisional game at a neutral site. That is so unfair. It should never be the case because those games could impact them going further in the season, and you should have that if your home game should be your home game. So shame on the NFL for setting up for setting that up. I've always said this: if you want to have if you want to have an odd number of games in the season, it shouldn't be. Well, some teams get 9 home games, and some teams only get 8. No, 8 home, 8 away, and then every team plays a neutral site game. Whether you want to put it in London or Germany or France or Spain or Mexico or Brazil, you can also put them in different places in the United States, where you're trying to figure out where can we put an expansion game. Hey, let's put a game in St. Louis because yeah, they've had a team before, but maybe they can handle a team again. Let's put a game in San Antonio. Let's put a game in Portland. Let's put a game in a place that doesn't have football right now. Besides putting in these other countries, let's put them somewhere in the United States, maybe Toronto, Montreal. Let's put them somewhere in within the. I know that's not the United States, but it's close enough. You get what I'm saying? Where we could put an expansion team. I don't want to hear about expansion teams in London. We can have the one game a year in London, and that could be a neutral site game. But every team should have to play one neutral site game, 8 home games, 8 away games, or just give us the 18 game schedule and have 9 and 9. Because the way they do it right now is ridiculous. With some teams that have 9 and some teams have 8, that's not fair. You want it to be an equal footing. That's not competitive balance. It needs to be balanced, and the way you balance it is make them all go somewhere else, and then have 8 and 8. Yeah, the Bills did play a game there every once in a while. So that was like Toronto was like their version of in London.
Right. Exactly. Well, let's stay on the topic of the Chiefs for a little bit. And, just because obviously Super Bowl matchup last year with the Eagles. And the Tush push is back in discussion again. We already talked about it earlier, but excuse me if I mispronounced his name, but Mailata had some comments about the Tush push and it being BS. And it just because, he thinks from his perspective, he believes that other people believe they won the Super Bowl because of the Tush push. I can tell you right now, I do not believe that whatsoever, but they did the tush push 6 times against the Chiefs. And so it became back in relevant discussion. Obviously, the NFL voted on it earlier this year, and it was passed. And it's not going to be banned. So let's talk about the tush push again. And I think what's been really going around the league is if it's really being detrimental to the NFL and the sport. So let's start with you, Gene, and your thoughts about the tush push.
I've always said, if you don't like it, stop it. You know, some people say, "Oh, well, it's not a football play." It is a football play, man. Stop it. It is a football play. Teams right now just don't know how to stop it. Stop it, and it won't be an issue. And the other thing that too has been an issue too is you have defenses pulling out cadences to screw up the offense. And some people say that should be illegal, and to me that's gamesmanship. Like that should be fine too. It's almost like stealing signs as if you're on second, it's looking at the catcher. You know what? If you can, I find nothing wrong with it. We need to just stop whining about it. Like, fine, you think it's unfair? Get your own players that can do it too on offense, and get your own players on defense that can stop it. Until you can do that, stop crying about it. Because if you could do it too, guess what? You do it too. That's the problem, man. They call it unfair because they can't stop it and they can't do it. Go get players that can stop it and do it. I know this. Some people say it's a boring play. Who wants to watch that? If I knew my team could win, I'd let them do it the whole way down the field and bring home a Super Bowl trophy. I could care less. I just want that trophy. But that's also never seen one.
No one's been able to stop it, but no one's been able also to execute it as well as the Eagles. And you can't hate on them for doing that either. And you have other teams trying to do it for a reason. And you mentioned it, Gene. If they could do it, they would. And if they knew they were going to be successful at it, they would. Guy, I'm gonna go to you next. Thoughts on the tush push?
I agree with what Gene said. I mean, this is a grown man's game. You got to stop it if you don't like it. It's just like anything else. But I get why people are annoyed by it. The optics of it don't look good for the product of the game. We got offensive linemen pushing like a quarterback in. It's not really athletic. It's just more like a loophole kind of thing. I could see that side of it where it's not like, granted, they got the perfect personnel to pull that off. Their quarterback squats like over 500 pounds. So he's tough to move off that line, when they're fighting for that yard or, less. And it's all about that initial push, right? Like you got to get lower to try to like get that leverage. And it's just hard. The defense is at a disadvantage, but I just think that the optics and the business side of it, the competition committee always tries to make like a level playing field for everybody, but this is one of those cases where like one team has like the personnel to actually execute it at a high level. The rest don't, and it's more like sour grapes than anything, I think.
That's a great point, because the teams and the fans of teams that complain the most? The other NFC playoff contending teams. 49ers, Rams, the Bucks, like all those teams that, the line. Well, actually, the Lions were actually one of the teams that didn't complain about it. But you get what I'm saying? Most of them are the teams or the fans of teams that are competitive and have to play them in the playoffs. And they want to whine about it because they know they're gonna have to deal with it later, and it's gonna be a problem. But then, like we just said, stop it or go get your own guys that can do it. Stop acting the whole year that well, we don't want to do those things. No, if you knew you could do it and you had the guys do it, you'd do it too. So stop.
I mean, it's an ugly play, but it's a fair play at the end of the day.
100%. I'd agree. Again, if my team could do it, I'd want them to do it because I want to win. But until then, it is what it is, man. I wish it wasn't even a thing anymore. I can't believe that, and that's how there's a lot of crybabies in this league because we're still talking about should it be banned. Like, we're still talking about it. And it's not like we're talking about it. The people, everyone was talking about it today, so that's why we have to address it. We have to address it because everybody else was complaining about it today. So it became news. Why is it still in the news?
The Eagles.
The
Eagles didn't win because of the tush push. They were just the best team in the NFL all of last year. They were. Even if they didn't have that, they still have a passing game at the end of the day. They still got Jalen Hurts back there who's going to run the ball. So you're mad about one play that they do. At the exact, and you know when they do it every single time. Mm-hmm. So you should be prepared for it. Scott, you have anything to chime in?
Wait, let me. He's mute.
Pretty much same thing you guys are saying. Respect it or check it. If you have a problem with it, you got to stop it. I mean, there's an offensive line and there's a defensive line. They're both 400 pounds each player. You know, the guard's 400 pounds, the nose tackle's 400 pounds. Who's stronger? I guess that's the way to stop it. If you got a problem with it, you have to stop it, and that's it. You know, Philadelphia was a great team. They had great defense. They rattled Patrick Mahomes. They made him look like he was a regular quarterback, and they were fired up, and they were just a better team. Saquon Barkley, you know, just dominated the whole season. Like, they won that fair and square. And if you don't like the tush push, too bad. Stop it. You know? Anyone could do it.
Giants fan. And that's coming from a Giants fan who would probably love to say he hates it, but he knows better. He's got common sense.
Yeah, I'm just keeping it real. Like, if you have a problem with it, you have to stop it. There's got to be a way to stop it. You know, you can't tell me that that's just a play that's just unstoppable, unguardable. You can't. It's almighty, the best play in the whole world. Just watch. We'll just do it the whole game, and let's just watch how we 100%. No, there's got to be a way to stop it, and you have to figure it out. Until then, just cry about it.
Yeah. I remember when it first came up, Gene, we were talking about that. We thought the Jets might do it with Justin Fields.
I don't know why they don't try.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't squat 600 pounds, but it's gonna, you know. Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna wrap up with this. Gene, this was your idea, actually, wrapping up with doing some quick spreads. And so I'm gonna kind of let you lead this last little portion before we hop off here. Appreciate all the 75 in the building that are joining us. Again, please like and subscribe. Follow our individual pages as well. Always happy to have your support. But Gene, I'm gonna let you take it away.
And TJ's in the house at the perfect time because this is
his thing.
This is his thing. So if you want to listen to us with it, listen to us. But make sure you tune in tomorrow because they are the guys that really know it. You got Buff, who is like the fantasy football expert. He's like the fantasy football freak. And then TJ is got the props and the bets and everything. That's his specialty. So you got from both angles. If you want to do fantasy or if you want to do gambling, you got two guys that can really do it for you. But so we're gonna have a little fun with it. All right. So let's start with Bills Dolphins. And again, we'll go quick because I know we got to get out of here. We'll go quick. So we got Bills Dolphins. Bills are favored at home 11.5. That's early for a big spread. What do you guys think? Go around the horn.
Taking the points.
You got the Dolphins. Of course you got the Dolphins, guy. Right?
No, the Bills will win, but not by that margin.
I feel you. I think I'm gonna take the Bills on that one. I think the Bills.
I'm taking the Bills as well.
I think it's gonna be a tough game. What do you got, Sky?
I think it's gonna be the Bills, and I think they're gonna beat the hell out of them, and it's gonna be good. It's actually a good thing, Junior. It's gonna be good because the coach gets fired. They're gonna get embarrassed, and that's it. That garbage ass coach is gonna be gone. And maybe Tua too. I mean, they'll probably have to keep Tua for the rest of the year, but the coach is going to go. So you probably want it to happen because, no one wants to get embarrassed by a division rival.
The best thing probably for McDaniel is to probably get fired because if he gets fired, he won't have any more money to do all that coke. That's it. All right. And TJ, don't give any of your spreads. Don't throw any of your answers in this because you guys we'll tease you guys for tomorrow. If you want to know any of TJ's picks, make sure you tune in tomorrow. I don't want him to give any freebies away on this show. You guys get them from him tomorrow. We got so then we got the Bengals at the Vikings. Vikings favored 2.5. I got the Vikings. Even with that scrub quarterback wins.
I'm with you on that. They're at home
They're
too.
home.
Yeah,
They have a good crowd, by the way.
they
I
do.
love their little home crowd, so I'll take Vikings as
Skull.
well.
Oh,
Sky.
I'm gonna have to go Vikings too. They're probably gonna get it done. I mean, yeah, I think they'll get it done. Vikings.
It's Oxy's not Coke. You know what? You know what? He might be right because watching him in those post game press conferences, he definitely does not look coked up. It might be Oxy.
he's like this. And
He needs to go on an ayahuasca retreat with Aaron Rodgers at
He
the end of the
he
season.
looks like Jordan Belfort from Wolf of Wall Street with the Quaaludes.
That is one of my favorite movies.
Fantastic movie. The
Great
scene where he
movie.
thinks he drives home okay, and then they replay it like after that scene, and they show him like dragging himself out of the car. All right, so we got Patriots. I'm sorry, Steelers at the Patriots. Steelers favored by 1.5. I'm gonna go Patriots. Oh, certified Rob joins the building. That's my man right there. We're going to the Bucks game, Jets Bucks game. Check him out on Rookies of the Year.
I'm going to take Steelers.
I got the Steelers too.
I got Steelers.
Gene's on the Patriot train too, huh, Gene?
I've only rooted for the Patriots twice in my life. Those were the Super Bowls against the Giants. Because I actually hate the Giants more. All right, we got Colts at Titans. Colts 4.5 favorites.
Colts.
You know what? I'm a lone wolf again. I think the Colts will win. I think it's going to be a field goal game.
They could.
I think it's going to be.
I can see that.
I think it's going to be a closer game than people think. Tennessee's at home. You know, Colts might be feeling themselves a little bit. I think it's going to be close. Rob says Colts covering easy. I think they'll win, but I don't think by much. I think the Tennessee will give them a scare. All right, so now we get into the Texans at the Jags, and the Jags favored by 1.5.
I got the Jaguars.
I'll take Texans.
I got Texans.
I think I gotta go Texans. Texans gotta get a win, man.
They need a win.
I know they're in Jacksonville, but Jacksonville hasn't played well either. I think that Houston's, they just played like Guy. I think Guy was either Guy or Sky. The Texans have had a tough schedule thus far. They played 2 tough teams. I think the Texans got this one. It's basically a pick 'em. So I take the Texans too. All right, now we go Atlanta. So we got the Falcons going to Carolina, and the Falcons are 5.5 favorites.
I'll go Atlanta. I'll take Atlanta as well.
I know where everybody's going.
I'll say Carolina.
I know you're gonna say Carolina because you love teaming.
He had over 100 receiving yards. Man, I was hoping for his first TD to be when I was at the Cardinals game this weekend, but it'll happen. But over 100 receiving yards back in, of course, he was at U of A for so long, so he made his return. He showed up in an Arizona Wildcats jersey. On top of that, love to see that.
He also signed I believe, was he the guy that when some fans came up and he signed the college jersey, right? The autographed for a little
And speaking of the matter, we have a bye week this week, but my Arizona Wildcats are 3-0. Thank you very much.
See, certified Rob goes out. Atlanta wins, Carolina covers. I'm going to say the opposite on that. I'm going to say Atlanta wins, but I think they win outright. So I think they cover. I should say. I think they're going to win by a touchdown. All right, so now we have Rams at Eagles. Eagles favored 3.5. That's going to be a good game.
Yeah.
That's going to be a fun one, man. Both 2-0. Both. This could be an NFC Championship preview.
That's tough. I got the Eagles in that one.
I do too.
I'm going to go Rams.
Outright or just the cover?
Outright.
You think they win in Philly? Okay. What about you? What do you bet?
This is so hard. I'm going to go Eagles.
I'm going to go Eagles too. All right. We got the Jets at the Bucks. The Bucks favorite 6.5.
That's the Bucks all day.
Yeah. It's going to be Bucks.
Bucks.
I'm gonna go Bucks.
Yeah, like I said, I think the Bucks are gonna crush the Jets. We got Raiders at the Commies. Commies favored by 3.5.
Yeah, I got Washington on that one.
Yeah.
I'll take the commies too. And speaking of the commies, they're getting a new stadium. So congratulations to them.
Yeah, congratulations, guys. There's a couple
Mhm.
couple of teams that looking at it. I think who's the other team that looks like they're getting a new stadium? Was it Denver?
The Bills
Oh,
next
Bills.
year.
That's it. Bills. They
Mhm.
have theirs opening next year.
Mhm.
Somebody else too, though. I think it might be Denver. Might be looking at a retractable roof stadium. I believe. I'm pretty sure Denver's looking at that. Yeah, I think Washington covers as well. All right, Packers at the Browns. Packers favored by 7.5. Not nearly enough. You could have doubled this, and I'd still take the Packers.
Yep, Packers all day.
Packers.
Packers.
All right, we got the Broncos at the Chargers. LA favored 2.5.
This is
I got
tough.
the Chargers.
I
got
got
the
the
Chargers.
Chargers too.
Chargers by more.
I mean, yeah, I can't see them losing this game. They've been so good this year so far. I know it's only 2 games in, but they've been so good. I can't see them possibly losing. And I know the Broncos are good too, but this is one of those things where I got to give it to the home team. You know what I mean?
R.I.P. to my Broncos defense this week.
Yeah, you might want to go pick up another. See who's playing the Saints and just
Pick up Tampa. Pick up Tampa defense.
There you go.
That's not a bad idea.
Take advantage of Fields being hurt.
Okay, so now we got Cardinals at the 49ers. 49ers 2.5-point favorites.
The Niners.
I'll get the Niners too.
I'm gonna go Niners too. Then that sounds, yeah.
Yep.
I'll just go against the grain and say the Cardinals.
I was like, I feel like you
Of
wanted to pick
course.
the Cardinals, but you just didn't really want to pick the Cardinals. All right, Cowboys at the
Hey,
Bears.
the Cardinals won over there last year, by the way. I want to add.
Did they? They won in.
I believe so because they're normally not good against the Niners, and I remember that last year. I believe it was like a field goal or something. So
Was it late in the season?
I can't remember, but
Yes, Rob. We know. We've talked
Thanks,
about that
Rob.
at nauseum.
Thanks for reminding
I think
us.
we've all said it's going to be like a 20-point game.
Yeah, listen to him. He's right.
All right, we got the Cowboys at the Bears. In Chicago, Dallas is favored by 1.5.
I'm going Bears to get their first win.
I had the Cowboys.
I'm going Cowboys.
Cowboys.
Yeah, I think the Bears are gonna have I think they're a better team than their record will indicate, but I think they're gonna basically be right up there with the Saints. I think they're gonna have the number 2 pick in the draft, and I think they're better than that. I just think the way their schedule falls in place, I just don't see where they get a lot of wins. All right, now we go to Sunday night. Chiefs at the Giants. Chiefs are favored by 6.5 on the road at MetLife.
I got the Giants. Not winning, but I'm taking
Keeping
the
it
points.
close.
Yeah.
I think I'm with Guy. That's a lot at MetLife too. I'm like,
I know we always say, a lot of people are always like, oh, 6.5, 7, the touchdown's a big spread. But think about how many games end by 7 or more points. It's really not that far-fetched. When you think about how the Chiefs really could possibly just easily be 2-0 right now, but are 0-2, so we know they're the best 0-2 team of all time almost, right? I mean, think about all the 0-2. All right, I'm being melodramatic, but they are, you know what I'm saying? They are a very good 0-2 team. To be fair, are they not?
Mahomes hasn't played well to really think like that offense is going to come in there.
Fair, and they don't have the weapons that they really should need. Rashi Rice is not back, and Worthy's been hurt.
Even the running game's not that good.
No,
and Pacheco still hasn't gotten off yet, right? But I think that's going to happen this week. I'm taking the Chiefs. I think they win by double digits.
I'm going Giants. We gotta get a win at home.
Well, I don't think it's going to happen. But anyway, all right. Then let's go. Last game of the slate, Monday night. It is Detroit Lions at the Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore favored. It opened at 5.5 this one, but it is now 4.5 spread. So Detroit's pulled it up a little bit. Both the teams 1-1. So one of these teams is going to fall to 1-2. This is a tough one. Forget about even the spread. I wouldn't even if it was even. I'd be like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Like Ravens lose some games where it makes you like pound your head. Like, what? How do you lose that game? Like, especially last year, how many games did they lose where you were just like, how did you lose that game?
Blow leads late.
Yeah, but then you also think, well, all right, on the road. This is where I was kind of talking about earlier. If Detroit loses, if we were to say before the season, forget about records. If Detroit loses on the road to Baltimore, that's not a bad loss. You'd say that's an expected loss. When you're going through your schedule, everyone was going through the schedules right before the season, and you go, all right, that could be a win, that could be a loss, that's probably a win, that's probably. This would be a game where even the most diehard Lion fan would say, okay, that's a potential loss. I could see that being a loss. And again, they don't have to win this game to cover because they're 4.5 dogs. I'm gonna take the Lions. I think I talked myself into it. I'm taking the Lions, not to win, but to cover.
I'm gonna take Baltimore to win. I'm gonna go with the home team. But if I will say this, if the Lions score a lot of points the way they did last week, if they can score a lot of points, they could win. But if it's a low scoring game, Baltimore's gonna get them.
Yeah, at the Ravens.
I can see I see what you're saying. Because when Baltimore does give up a lot of points, they do it in bunches, right? So
see what happened week 1.
Yeah,
the lead wasn't safe at all.
No. Abs, what do you got?
Ravens, and I got Tyler Loop and I got Flowers, so I'm gonna need them to pop off this week. But Ravens are at home, and I think Rob mentioned in here with a statement win, something like that. But I think it'll be more than the 4.5 that you said too.
Yeah, he has an 11-point win for the Ravens. He has a 31-20 he's calling. He also say Mahomes has no weapons and the run game is trash. Offense is a one-man show until Rice comes back. I agree. They got to make a trade. They got to get Hill. They need a receiver bad.
Take him.
Take Alan Lazard.
Listen. No, we said they needed a good receiver.
Yeah.
They don't want.
He
Alan
is
Lazard. We
a
don't
good
even want
receiver
Alan
at
Lazard.
doing the wrong things.
This man took a 75% pay cut, and we still don't want it. You had to figure. Here's probably what happened. Him and Moogie got. This is maybe me and Guy can reenact this conversation at another time. Maybe we do our little reenactments. They pulled him in and said, "Listen, we love you, but we're gonna have to cut your pay in order drastically to keep you." Well, how much? We're gonna have to cut 75%. I can understand if you don't want to stay here. We get it if you want to leave. No, I'll take it. Oh, great. All right.
Desperate times.
Good.
Wait.
That's a great point. Me and Rob talked about that the other day, TJ. That's another thing. They have a huge. We were talking about me and Rob the other day. They do have big problems on that offensive line too. I think personally they traded Tooney way too early. I think they should have held on to Tooney. That offensive line is not what it was last year. They definitely took a step back on the offensive line. I don't understand really why. I guess maybe it was money. TJ might have some insight to it. Anybody that knows TJ knows he knows a bunch. Like Sky might even know. He knows like a bunch of GMs in the league, man. Like he knows the Glazers. He knows Omar Khan. Like he knows a ton of like guys that run this league, man. So he might have some insight to why they decided they needed to trade him. So again, that's why their show's so awesome. Like this guy talks to Omar Khan, and GM of the Steelers, and again he knows the Glazers who own the Bucs, so he knows a lot of people in the league. So he might have some insight to it, but they definitely need some offensive line help. Nah, you're pretty cool, bro. I appreciate it.
Dean, did you miss the game? Did you miss the Saints Seahawks?
Did I miss it? Let's see.
Oh yeah.
I must have because I didn't call it. Let me see.
But what's your spread at?
You're right. I did. So Saints at Seahawks. Seahawks favored by 7.5.
I feel like that's a lot for the Seahawks.
Yeah, but the
Yeah.
Saints are god awful.
I know they are.
And
I
it's
know.
in Seattle, tough place to play. Johnny Boy was quiet for a while. He's back. Johnny Boy brings
Yeah,
it
man.
back.
So I happened. Started talking to a Diamondbacks fan out here in Turks. I told him, "Ain't no one hearing no damn hissing." That's right. You ain't hearing no hissing because you
Wait,
feeling that
Johnny Boy,
venom in your veins, bro. That's why.
Is
We
Johnny
already
Boy on
done
vacation
bitched
in
you.
Turks and Caicos?
Yeah, I saw it earlier.
Oh, thank you for listening in all the way from Turks, bro. We appreciate you on your vacation taking some time to listen to us. That's awesome.
Is the time difference the same? Is it still Eastern time?
Yeah,
Probably.
I don't really know where. I know it's in the Caribbean, I think, right?
Yeah,
It's either
obviously.
that or
So
an
I'm
hour
assuming-
ahead. It's either this like Eastern or an hour ahead of us.
Why would it be that far out there in the ocean?
I forget exactly where it is, but I think it's the same time zone.
I think
Still
it's the same
Eastern.
time. Okay.
He said yes, it is. Mm-hmm.
So, the Eastern time is the best time.
All right, I'll
Right.
take
No
Seahawks.
offense.
No, I'll take Seahawks though.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna take the Seahawks on that one too.
I got
Listen,
Me too.
they wallop the Steelers in Pittsburgh. They can do that to the Saints in Seattle.
It's every game is his own matchup, though. You know, like what they got away with against
That's a
Pittsburgh.
fair because teams match up differently against each other. I still stand by it though.
I think it's gonna be a close game, even though.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. They're gonna be
Again,
competitive.
When you have a good team and a lousy team,
I think it's a
touchdowns not
trap
that big
game.
of a spread, really. It could be. It could be. I'm not sure who Seattle has next week, but you're right. That's if there's a good team, if they're at like the 49ers next week, then yeah, that's like the definition of a trap game.
Seahawks have Cardinals. Week
Divisional-
4.
Divisional,
Mhm.
and they're already 2-0, so yeah, they could be looking forward.
That's
to
on
Cardinals.
Thursday Night Football too.
So this should be a good one.
Mm-hmm. Well,
yeah, that's the.
we need to start. Honestly, that was kind of fun. So we might need to start keeping tabs on who
Tallies?
said what.
I'm gonna tell you what. I'll go back and I'll make sure we have all. I'll rewatch and I'll keep our thing and we'll post it up each week and we'll keep a little a tally.
Yeah. Timestamp it and then timestamp your apology to me as well. If you can do that, Gene, I'm only teasing you.
I know you
Because
are,
after-
but let's wait till Monday.
After today, I'm done talking about Sunday because I've let it ruined my whole day. I'll be honest. Guy, I don't know if the Miami game did that to you, but it ruined my whole day. I was pissed off until today I started feeling a little better. So from here on out, I won't talk about Buffalo Jets game anymore. It'll be solely
Until
Buck.
the last week of the season.
Well,
Yeah.
Did we play right? Did we play them next last week, right?
Yeah, week 18. Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll be figuring out where our draft spot is at that point, and we'll probably be wanting to lose that game at that point.
We'll go out and get a quarterback.
you're gonna need
Hopefully,
one, right?
hopefully it's not that. It's not that fraud Arch Manning. That's all I can say.
That has been, that's been not fun to watch.
No, I would say no. Show versus show. Let's get a friendly. Oh, we could do that, but look, here's what we can't do that. We're doing it for fun. TJ and Buff are pros, bro.
Show
TJ
TJ's
Buff
next
pros.
comment.
That they are.
They could be. It's gonna be. It might just be between them, the Saints, and the Bears. I don't know how to react. I know we're on our way out, so I don't need to bring this up. It's just like this is a therapy session for a second. I don't know how to react when I thought we were gonna go 9-8, and this was the beginning of that black cloud moving off of us over MetLife. I don't know. Like, there's only so much abuse you can take before you say, "I need to leave," and I feel like a battered spouse. I need to leave. They've did this to me year after year, and they keep saying, "No, baby, I'm sorry. Don't worry. We got this guy at the draft. We signed we signed these great players in the offseason. Don't leave, baby. But next year's gonna be different." And then they do it to me again. You know, they come home drunk one night and they slap me around again on a Sunday night or a Monday night, and I don't know what to do anymore. I don't know if I need to move on. Great guy over in Tampa in the Bucks. Baker.
You know what? I got a comment this after the game on Sunday, and someone did say they're jumping ship to Tampa, and it wasn't you, obviously, but I
Well,
instantly
pun
thought of
intended.
you. Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I don't even know if I want to do that. I'm gonna have to get a costume because one of the Woody was talking about it. Clemens and his Halloween costume one year was like a fan favorite. I'm like, the fact that you remember that shows the only good things he's done.
Michael Clemens or Kelly?
Yeah,
Clemens?
Michael Clemens. He had that I don't know what character he was, but he had no shirt on with the bat and everything.
Was it Walking Dead or something?
Something. I don't know.
I don't know what to do anymore though as a Jet fan. I have a problem. I need to come to grips that this is what it's like for the rest of my life. You know what my son said to me today? My son's 23. He's not a kid. He's not a baby. He's grown. And we were talking about the Super Bowl. He goes, we'll probably never watch a Super Bowl together. And I'm like, I thought he meant like in general. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, we'll probably end up watching the Super Bowl together. I'll be down there. I'll come up there. You'll come down. We'll see Super Bowls together. He's like, no, I mean the Jets Super Bowl. We'll never watch one together. I'm like, what do you mean watch one together? Like, you might see one, but I won't live long enough to see it. Like, we're talking about me dying now. I'm dying. I'm dead.
Damn.
He's like, well, he's like, you only have so much time, and I have so much more time to witness one that could possibly happen, but you probably won't see it in your lifetime. I'm like, wow, real nice. This kid's got me dying. Having said that, I think it's time to get out.
Well, how many people we got in the building?
We got about.
The comment of the day.
What is? Oh wait.
Well, that's a better comment than McDaniels would ever say in a press conference. So you're right.
Yeah.
Hey, you're 0-2 just like us.
But you know what? That's actually probably what he would say. I mean, the best thing you could do is just stop rooting for us. Don't come to the games. I guess save your money.
Yeah, you should.
He doesn't even look up. He's just looking at the floor. It's so bad. It's pathetic.
He's getting
we'll
fired.
have a lot to say because that Monday Night Football game, that Week 4 game, is coming up real quick. Is that the rivalry jersey game, by the way? Is that when they're wearing the jerseys?
Probably
the battle for the first win of the season for one of us.
Yeah. Draft position.
Well, how many people we got in the building, Gene, before we go?
Let's see. I'll pop it up. Oop, I gotta change it.
We still have 80?
No. Just under 75. Oop, wait.
Oh, not. Wait.
Oop. Yeah, we're all right. We're at 76.
76 in the building. What a good showing for tonight. Well, Sky, we appreciate you joining us. It was a good show. This was a fun show and a long show at that. So we wish you all a very good night. Have a good weekend. Guy, good luck tomorrow, but not really. And we'll see you next time. Night, you guys. Bye.
Later, everybody.
Peace.
You know what? That's on me when I'm not even. I was so in my head about the Jets. I'm not even ready to let the screen go. Hold on 1 second, guys.
Take two.
Uh-oh.
I can't even find what I need to get. All right, you guys ready? Say goodbye one more time. Now we can do it for real.
For real.
All right. Have a good night, you guys. Bye.
Later, guys.
Good one.